Is Guyana Caribbean?
Is Guyana Caribbean? I like how we just get right into the shit. All right, so I'm gonna say what I said on the last podcast.
Jamaican. Yes, Matt, we here.
Once again.
Another week, another classic. Shout out to the YouTube people, man. I see y'all running it up in the comments. I like that. I feel that. Subscribe. 45% of y'all are not subscribed.
We like the engagement.
We love the engagement, but we like the subscribers more, man. You know?
Just watching for free.
You know what I mean? Get the push notifications. Ring that bell.
Click the button, nigga.
Fuck wrong with you niggas, man.
It's very aggressive.
Sorry, my bad. Probably turning them off. My bad. I'm Marlon.
I'm Norm.
I'm Alicia.
I'm Duke.
And we are joined by a man of many talents. This guy, he's an actor,
many voices,
a comedian, a DJ, a superstar. This guy has been running Caribbean comedy on Instagram for probably, 12 years now?
Yeah.
12 years now.
12
Ladies and gentlemen, Majah Hype is in the building.
We outside.
Is he Jamaican? Is he Trinidadian? Is he Guyanese?
They'll never know. Is Guyana Caribbean?
Is Guyana Caribbean? I like how we just get right into the shit. All right, so I'm gonna say what I said on the last podcast.
Talk to him.
Is Guyana Caribbean? Culturally, yes. Demographically, no.
Very political.
Damn, that's crazy. That's
Geologically,
crazy.
it is not part of
South America.
Geologically, it's really not.
It's South America.
It's at the tip of South America.
I mean,
The only
That's
English-speaking
what they
country
were mad at. They
on the
were mad
continent.
because I said
They were livid.
they said
He posted a video where they're just like, you just see the comments just going
Pissed.
crazy.
You
but
know
I mean,
what?
he's not lying.
You know what?
Like, what are you mad at?
How you mad at the truth?
People live in like their own reality, you know? They just want to believe what they want to believe.
I mean, you know.
I get it culturally, you know, you're so attached. You know,
Yeah.
culturally definitely so attached.
Right,
but
right.
just
Right.
where you're located.
Exactly.
If we go through a hurricane, you guys are straight.
I mean, think about it, right? Like, they're the only English-speaking country on that continent.
That continent. That's it.
So I mean, everybody speaks Portuguese, Spanish, you know, a different language other than them, and the closest place to Guyana, apart from South America, is Trinidad.
Facts.
So
Facts.
you know,
It's Trinidad's bastard cousins.
It's just a good ferry.
I didn't say all that. You said that, bro.
yeah,
But they share a continent with Argentina, so it's all bad.
Norm,
Yeah.
tread lightly.
Hey, you're a fellow island person from the east.
No loves doubles. He loves roti. He loves
They
Dalpre.
call us the Chinese Jamaicans of Asia. So
Did you see how Shay Mitchell is trying to just claim that she's Spanish and Irish now?
She's doing your
Wait, what did she
people
before?
dirty, dog.
Yeah.
Shay Mitchell told she was in an interview and she said she was Spanish.
Yeah.
What? She said her
how
mom was
dad-
Spanish.
It was talking about alcohol. She was like, yeah, I know how to drink, you know, because my dad is Irish and my mom is Spanish.
Well, Shensia said she's Korean.
wow.
Bomba
Really?
clot. North? We got her. They got her. She's a plant. Kim Jong-un. Oh, man. That's crazy. But you got 2 shows in Toronto.
Yes.
3 shows in total?
No.
Oh, how
2
many shows?
shows in Toronto, 1 show in Montreal, and
Nice.
1 show in Ottawa.
Ah, okay.
And we push back the shows that are in Calgary and Edmonton and stuff like that. So
Yeah, definitely. It's
Those are the normal East Coast stops when
just
you
give us a reason to come back, you know?
absolutely. Yeah, they Edmonton's going through it right now. Anyways,
What's going on over there?
they just lost the Stanley Cup in Game 7.
by one.
I'm not watching that shit.
I watched it last night. First hockey game I've watched in like a decade. I don't even know.
Jesus.
I just watched it last night because I'm like, okay,
What
Game
else?
7.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna not watch a Game 7. That's
Damn.
and because they came back from 3-0, I was like,
nothing. Yeah.
ah, shit.
What was the score?
2-1.
Oh, even closer.
Yeah.
Was it the overtime? Like 2-1?
Nah. They scored in like the second period and then it was over. It was a wrap.
Damn.
Yeah, man. But the Overdue Comedy Tour, the one-man show.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You're not.
He said
You're
he
not.
doesn't need anyone
He doesn't need no
else.
help. Well, he's done it before. It's not the first time he's done it, but this is the first time he's done it in a while, like 2-3 years,
No
right?
Norm, no Marlon.
One man.
You know.
Want to keep the bag.
That was the way to
Splitting the bag.
You niggas are expensive.
Norm is charging, yen.
Just give me a few rice bags.
I mean, it's been a while since I've been here, so wanted to make it all about just, Majah Hype.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm the type of guy that could be on stage for between an hour to 2.5 hours.
I've seen it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I've
So
seen
it's
it.
like,
Definitely. Yeah, man. You have so many different, especially characters that you have established over the years that are reoccurring. How many are reoccurring? Could you tell me off the top of your head?
man, listen, bro.
It's like at least over 10.
Yes.
Minimum.
Yes.
That's minimum.
Yes.
It's gotta be.
It's everybody has their favorite. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Everybody loves the Ross, Mitzi, Bobby Buns.
Mitzi's
everybody.
hilarious.
Yes,
Ross is my
Mitzi's
favorite.
Red
hilarious.
Mango.
The Ross with the balloon pop was fucking funny. I was dying. Everybody. I was dying. But yeah, no, have you ever thought of doing like a real serious movie, Clump style, Eddie Murphy style?
Absolutely. I was actually just talking about that earlier. Yeah.
With all
definitely
your
wanna
different
get that done.
characters?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the different characters at once, especially for the West Indies. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Never
not
been done before.
done. I don't think that's ever been done. Like, we're in Jamaica at least, we do a lot of plays. So it's like, it's a lot of plays where you're playing different
Pantomime
characters, but
stuff,
not like,
right.
like he has consistent roster of characters that he has on the Instagram. So it's like, and he brings them to the stand-up show sometimes as well.
Absolutely.
So
That's so scary though, just having all those characters in your head. Do you feel like you're mentally ill sometimes?
It's not scary unless they're arguing.
I mean, like Afion in the hip hop movie he just did. You could be the
Yeah. I haven't seen that. What's it called again?
Hip hop. Oh man,
It's like he's playing Jay-Z and
He's playing
he's
Joe
playing
Budden.
everybody he's
Everybody.
ever played.
Russell.
pretty much.
That's amazing. Oh, he does the Russell.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's basically Russell. He's narrating as Russell Simmons.
Yeah.
in his current situation.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if in his current situation.
I don't know about his current
God
situation.
damn. Okay, I was like, Jesus.
I'm in Bali.
I'm in Bali.
Just seeing wooden roofs every time Russell pops up.
No, it's a past
Don't listen
thing.
to anything more Lethan than this.
How do you feel about the state of West Indian comedy right now?
I feel like it's doing a lot. It's a lot happening. You know what I mean? We see new talent daily.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
However, the standard of comedy and the standard of what talent is nowadays has lowered.
Absolutely.
So a lot of people are doing things that they're not eligible to doing, but the audience accepts it. So you just got to just roll with it.
Yeah, definitely. I've noticed that my entire social media career. I've just had to just eat that bullet because it's like if you rest on like the fans sticking up for integrity,
No, that's not.
you're just
that's
gonna
not
run
happen.
yourself crazy.
Yeah,
it's
not
never
happen.
gonna happen. They don't care.
Yeah.
And if you point it out, you become a hater.
Hater.
Yeah.
So-
Absolutely. Especially if the person's got higher numbers than you. Oh my God, you can't
And
say nothing.
it's almost like a slap in the face to the people who actually study this craft.
Absolutely.
People who went to school, arts, and
God.
art, performing arts school, and really did their research and really did all of this stuff. You get somebody that just has a viral moment, and all of a sudden they're just that person.
Well, let's keep it over into stand-up now, right? Like,
Yeah.
luckily you've had years and years of stand-up under your belt where nobody could be like, oh, it's the Instagram guy. Of course he's going to get a headliner. Like, but at first, I know you had some of that pushback from the
older,
quote unquote
from the older
real
people,
stand-up
yeah.
comedians or
From
whatever.
the older dudes, yes.
Yeah.
They was like, oh, we don't respect that Instagram stuff.
Yeah.
Of course.
Especially 12 years ago.
I mean, you utilize what you have.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you're telling me a DJ that never carried crates of records is not a real DJ?
Facts.
Of
Not
course
to the
he
old
is.
heads.
You
Not
know
to
what I'm
the old-
saying?
Yeah.
Once you're talented, you're talented. You know what I
Facts.
mean? It's not about the tools that you use to get there. It's about your talent. You know what I mean? Your actual talent. So of course, I'm not gonna rate the DJ that just use BPMs all day and mixing Whitney Houston with Jaheim. No. You know what I'm saying? But the people that actually have talent and you can see that talent, then I respect it.
Some people craft their comedic skills in like a room of 5. Some people craft it in rooms of hundreds. You know what I'm saying?
Or thousands.
Or thousands. You know, and is that a problem that you get to practice in front of that many people as opposed to, the small butt fuck freaking
I don't think anyone's at a
open
detriment.
mics?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I personally would rather practice in a bigger spot and then go
Scale
back to when I
back.
have to.
I honestly feel like stand-up comedy is something that you can't fake, though.
No,
Facts.
that's for sure.
You can fake that whole,
You can fake
edited
Instagram,
video
yeah,
thing on Instagram and all of that, and I'm
We know
so
the tricks.
hilarious. But when it's you, the microphone, and the crowd on that stage, you can't really fake that.
You gotta show up and represent.
Yeah.
But definitely back to that stand-up conversation. Like there is, I don't know if it's specifically it's because it's all comedians. So I'm not gonna say it's just black people. But there is something with artists. I will say artists in any art form where there's, for some reason, you have way more credibility if you've been through oppression.
Oh yeah, that's definitely art.
You know what I mean? Like there's certain people like
about,
Matt Rife, for example.
You're talking about like a Tyler Perry story? I slept in my car.
Yeah.
I used my last tax return.
And then people are like, oh yeah, I have to support him. But
Well,
if you're a guy that
a lot of
blew up
people-
on Instagram on one video and then
a
do
lot of
stand
people's
up,
stories are not real. But they know that that's the story that's going to send them through
Of
the
course.
roof, so they make up a story.
but because of that pressure, right? Because people expect this whole come up story of, oh yeah, I was in the trenches, I was eating breadbacks.
You
Comedy
gotta
loves
suffer
the
a little
underdog.
bit. You gotta sweat.
But
you know?
isn't that for everybody? Because aren't people complaining right now about Drake not coming from the hood?
That's what I'm
And-
saying. Though all art forms,
It's all-
It's any art form.
art as a
But
whole.
Drake
Any
never
art
came
form.
from the hood.
No, but
No.
I'm saying like
No, but they're
people
saying they're complaining that he
about
didn't.
it.
Now?
Yeah.
Right
Yeah,
now,
consistently
especially
his
because
whole
of the
career.
Kendrick. But because of the Kendrick Lamar stuff, they'll be like, "Oh, well, Kendrick's gone through more, and Kendrick's really lived this life, and
Yeah.
blah blah blah."
That must be
and
a
it's
Canadian
like,
conversation.
I think,
Absolutely.
Okay.
yeah, they're like, I think that his story isn't the same. It's not the same, but it doesn't matter. Right?
I think it's somewhat of a Canadian conversation because it is somewhat from a perspective of Canada's perfect, but also like there's people like Tyga, for example, who gets discredited because he grew up with rich parents and he was in the suburbs. People like Sweetie, who people have a perception of her growing up rich because her uncle's in the NFL and her mom was a video woman. So it's like people discredit regardless, just based off of, oh, you had an easier come
You didn't
up.
struggle enough.
You didn't struggle enough.
Yeah.
But then when they found out Sweetie was sleeping in her car during university, they're like, oh yeah, no, she's a real one. Like all of a sudden the tune changed. So and like you said, some stories are made up. I don't know if that one's true. It just came out when people were discrediting her. So I'm like, I don't know what to give credence to, but there's definitely a thing with, especially comedians, I know for a fact.
All right. Well, I mean, Tory Lanez didn't have an easy road either.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, after he dropped that first song, say it.
That's
you know what I'm
what
saying?
took him
That
to the
was
next level.
That was like his 700th song, to be honest.
Right.
But people see it
but
as
people
the
see it
first
as
song.
the first,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And even after that song, he still had a struggle. He still was like doing independent stuff and working hard, 10 times harder than anybody else would.
Trust me, we
You
used
know
to
what
see
I'm
him
saying?
at our most infamous intersection, Young and Dundas. He used to be out there handing out CDs and a wife beater.
Used to call him Tory Lanez.
He used to have these.
I did.
He was trying to be like the rapper, so he'd have the chains, but they were beaded wood chains. And he just
He's like,
stacked
one
them
day I'm
on
gonna
top
trade
of
this
each
in for
other.
diamonds.
Yo, and it was just like,
He didn't have the teeth set. He didn't
Yeah,
have the new
man.
hairline. Nothing.
and you just watch different. He had different moments of ascension where it was like, oh, he's about to do it, and then it's
Yeah.
like,
Something
didn't work
happened.
out.
Yeah.
Then he's about to do it. It didn't work out. And when Say It, he just put his foot on the gas and did not stop after
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
And you saw what happened. Well,
It
saw what
was
happened.
quarantine radio was what
Quarantine
it was, man.
radio,
That
yeah.
made
Era,
it-
bro.
Yeah, I
dude.
mean, it's so much to this industry nowadays, bro. That's like, you just gotta just stay far from the foolery and just do
Trust
what
me.
you gotta do and stay focused. You know, because I mean, like I said, and you gotta also understand that the for me, it's a blessing to even still be relevant 12 years later.
Yeah.
Because the the lifespan of a comedian or somebody nowadays is like we can sit here and name comedians that was so funny.
Absolutely.
10 years ago, that where are they now? You know what
well,
I mean?
I think it's because you bet on yourself and took the chance to do it in real life. Well, once you change the medium and they see in person, oh, he can stand on his own too.
Yeah.
That Instagram shit don't mean nothing.
Well, one thing I've learned in this industry is that nobody's gonna be able to stop you but you.
Facts.
Yeah.
And as long as you have that mentality and keep going, because you have to understand, I'm not going through an agency or I'm not going through a network or, you know, a manager. Like what I post on my social media is what I post. So the people that respect and value my comedy is gonna always be there.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Right.
you know, as long as I'm straight up and I'm honest with with my life and I give them what they want, who's gonna, you know, it is what it is.
So you started with the obviously social media things first, right?
Right.
And then transitioned to the stand up.
Right.
How was your first set ever?
My first set ever was in Canada.
How did it go?
It went beautifully, and that's why I think I have so much love for Canada, and Canada has so much love for me because we kind of grew together.
Yeah.
So why did you choose Canada for your first set?
Why didn't I what?
Why did you choose
I
Canada
did.
for your
Canada
first set?
chose me.
Wes. Juice
Yeah.
cup.
So the thing is, right? I was booked in New York to be a host for an event, which is it was a college event, and I was supposed to be the host, and I was supposed to bring out artists as, you know, the host.
Yeah.
So in between intervals of artists changing, I was supposed to do like little comedy sets, which was like supposed to be 2 to 3 minutes. And the show was so unprofessionally put together that, you know, every
had to fill in.
time I would do like 2 jokes and I'm like, all right, bring it on the next. They would look at me behind the curtain like, keep
Like,
going,
no.
keep going. So it ended up to be like
worst,
15-minute intervals.
Yeah.
So that's what really gave me the courage to say, you know what, I can do stand-up. Because if I could bring out 5 artists and every time I go out there there's 10, 15 minutes worth of material, then I put that together and that'll be a set. You know what I mean? So, I you know, when Wes called me, I tell people all the time, like, I didn't even know what to charge him.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Those early days of quoting
I didn't even know
people.
what to charge him. He's like, yo, do you do stand-up? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, how much do you
what's your
charge? And
rate?
I'm like, 450. And he was like, okay, I want to do 8 shows with you. I'm like, 8? I'm gonna charge this motherfucker more. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So
man.
we, you know, I stuck to
Wes
my
knew right
word.
away.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like,
we do 8 shows. Let's go.
And I'm thinking
right
at
now.
the time, that's big money, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. You know, and we did it. I stuck to my word, you know, I did what I had to do, but, you know, here we are 12 years later, and we're having conversations of, bro, I want to do 6 shows. I got $150,000. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
So, you know, we actually grew together along with the audience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm just blessed to be here to even be able to have those discussions now, you know?
And you've done comedy all over the world at this point. Like,
Absolutely.
And in different media. You've done it on cruises. You've done it in clubs. You've done it in
Absolutely.
theaters. What's your favorite place to perform? City too.
Favorite city? I don't really have a favorite city because everywhere you go, you know, the Caribbean
Jamaicans are everywhere. That's for sure.
The Caribbean represents everywhere I'm at.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not like there's a favorite city or whatever because no matter where we're at, we all one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I believe that the Canadian audience for me is more welcoming. You know, they anticipate seeing Majah Hype.
Yeah.
And that's what feels good. You know what I mean? It makes you want to go and perform. You know what I'm saying? It's no longer like when I go to Jamaica, it's like I gotta prove myself every time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's Jamaica.
Like I've done shows with Mike Epps in Jamaica and tore it apart.
Yeah.
I did shows with Cedric the Entertainer in Jamaica and tore it apart. And every time they put on a show with Majah Hype in Jamaica, they're like, all right, man, let's see what am I gonna do now. It's like, bro, I proved myself so many times.
Listen,
like, you still want me to?
You're describing my family life.
What's this American?
So they say the 3 hardest audiences to please is Jamaica, New York, and Canada, and Toronto to be exact.
Toronto, yeah.
They say those are the 3 toughest crowds, and if you could please those people, you could please anybody.
Specifically Scarborough.
Specifically, you're not funny, fam.
Scarborough does
Time
not
I've been
give
telling
a
my
fuck.
guy, you're not funny, fam.
You know what the problem with Scarborough people is?
We laugh in
They
silence.
think they're funnier than the comedian.
That's fact.
So they're like, they show like,
You know what's funny?
you're not as funny as me, so let's
You're
see
really not,
what's
dog.
what.
You know what's crazy? There's always that person, no matter where you go.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere.
There's always that person, and that person always decides to sit in the front row, and it's like he's almost daring you to make him laugh. Like,
yeah.
Let me see if him can make me
Stone
laugh.
face for the first 5 minutes
exactly.
on purpose.
That's hate.
See the smirk come out.
Nah.
Like I could be on stage for 15 minutes and get a little chuckle out of this one person. Like,
And it's usually the man that came with his girl, and his girl is the fan, and he's not.
Exactly.
And that's why he's like, he's standing there, he's sitting there like,
Funny
Exactly.
nigga.
funny ass nigga. Go ahead, funny
Yeah,
nigga.
because she's home all the time watching you. Did you see this new one there? I don't like that pussy wall.
Man, they hate that, you know?
Yeah.
We gotta
Yeah,
talk
nah.
about that one day, man.
Don't make my girl laugh, bro. you being too funny now, nigga.
You ever see something funny with a nigga and you don't show your girl? We got him.
Wow.
You are sick. Oh my God. The way you laugh, baby, no, you do that shit. Nah, this nigga too rich, man. Fuck out here. I ain't showing her a rich funny nigga.
Never.
Why you following this dude?
Exactly. Yeah.
Showed you one clip, you following him.
Facts. She's in the
funny to you?
mutuals. Oh
You're moving
man.
fast.
I think every woman in the world follows like fucking LA Boy or whatever. Like
Oh, Justin LA.
my God.
Yeah, that guy.
Now it's like
he's
his
a
memes
relationship
are
record.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Those memes, I'm like, this is a Maury episode. Like his Instagram story is a Maury
And
episode.
the comments too. Jesus Christ.
Well, he got his fame in the pandemic, right?
Yep.
He was doing those demon time Instagram lives with the wine glass and had girls like shaking ass.
That was wild.
Throwing milk on themselves.
Was he doing it with Quincy?
Pardon me?
Was he doing it with Quincy or whatever? Or Justin Combs?
Yeah, Justin Combs. Yeah, he was friends with like the Diddy's kids and shit.
Yeah.
I really feel like the way comedy is going now,
Yeah.
who's really gonna be stand-up comedians for me for Caribbean culture? Because the reason why I say that is because I've seen social media take a drastic turn where it's not comedic anymore. It's now which I call the untalented people, and I'm not taking back my talk, but the content creators. Those are the people who have no talent.
I call them the relatable creators. Their
Relatable?
thing is just rooted in relatability. There's no actual punchline. It's just
I don't know if that's
people will
relatable
relate.
though. I think that's like undermining the business. Because if let's just say I put on a Gumby suit and I just jump around in front of a camera, it's funny, but is it comedy?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You understand what I'm saying?
It's
like
It's very lowbrow, low hanging fruit.
Yeah, just very salacious,
But
quick,
Surface level.
Who?
surface level.
Just surface level comedy. Yeah.
You heard her name. Who?
I just know that the craft of comedy is comedic, but it should be taken very seriously.
Absolutely.
And what I see nowadays, from where we're coming from to now, is not being taken seriously. It's more about the money, and it's more about getting the views and the gifters and all of this other stuff. When for me, I can't even really see myself sitting on TikTok begging people to gift me.
Couldn't do it.
And then you got the people that if they're not gifting you, they'll cuss you out. Like go suck on the mama.
Entitlement.
But they have for 20 minutes now, give me nothing, go suck on the mother.
Yep.
It's like, what?
There's too many ways to make money off comedy
It's a
without being a
privilege for you
comedian
to be
now.
here and us to be giving you money.
Too many different ways and that's all people see is the money. They're not in it for the actual
But then what
craft.
happens
And
to
it's
the
all about
stage?
monetizing and whatnot.
Because those people cannot go on stage and hold a crowd for an hour.
Well, the problem is the venue owners who book those people because
they
they're
know they
booking
can-
popularity over talent.
I can't say that though. I'm not gonna say that. And you know why I'm not gonna say that? Because if I have a business and I have to pay rent every month, right?
Yeah.
And this is how I pay my bills.
Absolutely.
If the audience want to, and that's why it always goes back to the audience for me. Because if the audience wants to see these people and they're gonna make
Open their
4
purse.
sold out shows
Yeah,
to
they're
see this
encouraging
person
them.
that I don't think personally is talented.
Yeah.
But y'all coming and buying tickets, you can't blame that person.
You can't blame them, but then at the same token, those same people can't talk about the state of comedy because you are a part of the problem.
Not
I understand
really.
everybody
I don't-
needs to pay
Okay.
bills. Everybody,
I get
I'm
what
not
you're
even
saying,
going to
but
take that
I
away
can't
from
say
them.
that.
You guys
Because all right, let's say for example, you have a trash rapper that is well known and gets a lot of views and got a lot of Spotify and all of that. A trash rapper, right? If he wants to rent out the Rogers Stadium or theater or whatever,
They're gonna take.
they're
it.
not going to say, "Oh, you're not good, so we're not going to give you our venue."
Yeah.
No, we're giving you
They're
the
gonna take
venue,
money
bro.
for
Oh
sure.
no, I get that.
So,
but at
so
the
you
same
can't say
time,
that they're part of the problem.
they are part of the
Yeah.
problem because if they're
How?
if they're saying
'Cause
that
if you care
they
about the art for real, like that, you
exactly
wouldn't be
the same
booking
thing
them.
you're saying.
Why are you gonna ask?
But
Why are you gonna
I
ask
understand that
about
the
art?
business
Back in
comes
the day-
first.
Guys, one mic,
But
one
no,
mic,
no,
one
back,
mic.
back in the day, those comedy clubs had a certain level of integrity where they would only book people that are
Yeah.
deserving of a
They
headliner
still
gig.
do it though.
But now they're a lot more open to
All
book
right, so
people with a larger following.
let's say this, right? So, for example,
Festivals do it all the time.
certain names that I know to be big on social media and have millions of followers, right?
Mm-hmm.
They will have a night, let's say at the Improv or one of these comedy clubs.
Yeah.
You got to understand that these people don't know if you're funny or not,
Exactly.
right? They just know that you're putting asses in seats,
Facts.
Right.
right? So when you go there and you are trash, that's when they be like, "Oh, well, this guy don't really know about comedy."
Yeah.
Because I can name a few people
Right.
now that they are some of the biggest names on. All right, for example,
them.
let's go into the
Name them.
top 20
complex
list that
list.
they just had.
Yeah.
The funniest people on the internet.
Yeah.
There was not one Caribbean person on that list.
No.
Nah, Drewski's Jamaican.
What?
I'm just kidding.
The only person that was the closest to being Caribbean on that list was Kai Cenat.
Yeah,
and he's not a
funny.
comedian. He's
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
streamer.
Yeah.
Right? But then again, you got to put in perspective the words that they used on that title.
Funniest internet
Stand-up
people.
comedian.
On the internet.
Yeah.
They didn't say
Yeah.
funniest
They say
comedians.
comedians.
However, there's some hilarious people that is on the internet
Yep.
that represents the Caribbean culture that they did not add.
Yeah.
And it
Facts.
doesn't necessarily have to be me.
Who should be on there then?
It could have been a lot of
It
people.
could.
on it.
There's too many to
There's so
name, bro.
many.
There's too many to
There's
name.
so many funny.
But that's even why a list like that shouldn't be taken seriously because at the end of the day, there's so many people doing it. To what you were saying earlier, there's so many people doing it now that there's no way you can quantify a list like that. There's no way because what are they going off of for the most part is metrics, right?
Yeah.
All those people have very high numbers.
Facts.
They're not necessarily the funniest. And it goes back to the whole club ownership thing.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily the funniest. They just have huge numbers. And because they have huge numbers, they have a big imprint.
Yeah.
And so you just see them more. And just because of the seeing them more, people will just be like, yeah, I can see why he's on that list.
Yeah.
Just because they see them more.
Right.
So like, for example, we're going
And you
down the
gotta
list of
also-
guys that we're like, oh, he's way funnier. Jack,
and you also
that
gotta
Jack Funny guy was way
also
funnier
gotta put
than
in
them.
perspective that a lot of these people pay to be on Shade Room and Hollywood.
Oh,
on
yeah.
Rock.
Yeah. That's the other
They're
part of the
paying
game.
for that promo.
Payola is
so,
big.
So you
That's a
understand what I'm
fact.
saying? So at the
Yeah.
end of the day, you're seeing me a lot, right?
There's a
For
reason for
example,
it.
let's say, HaHa Davis,
Mm-hmm.
right? Snoop Dogg posts almost every video he does.
Yeah.
He gets the certified cosign.
Facts.
Right? So whether you like him or not,
You're
you
gonna
know what I'm
gonna
saying?
see him.
You're gonna see him.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So
That's true.
Drewski's another one. He's
What? I'm kidding. That's good. Keep going.
he's not funny to you?
No, he's very funny to me.
Oh, so why did you say no?
Because you're about to kick his back in.
No, I'm not.
All right, keep going.
First of all, pause on the keep. Let's stop right there. It's true. And I wasn't throwing shade towards Ha Davis either.
Yeah.
I was just stating the obvious.
Yeah.
Right? And that's also a problem that we have in society today. Stating the obvious makes you a hater as well.
Automatically.
You understand what I'm saying? Because the line sounds more entertaining, right?
He's the
But
biggest
it's
hater on the pod.
It's just the facts.
Celine Dion. I said like this is a shout out, bro.
No, that's crazy. That's crazy.
That's a shot.
That's a shout out. He took a shot last week. Don't worry, they coming for you. Don't worry.
Still,
But I mean, this is just the obvious of it. You know what I'm saying? You watch certain syndicates of people, right? So after I'm just being honest. After I did the show with Mike Epps in Jamaica, I've never did another show with him yet. Right? There's a group of people that they love to work with. Right? The DC Young Fly, the whoever,
Chico Beans.
the Chico Bean, the Carlos,
Jess
the
Hilarious.
Michael Blackson, the
Yeah.
Jess
Duval,
Hilarious. And you will see them everywhere.
Yeah.
As if they're the hottest people in the world. No, they're not.
Comedy
They're
is
not the
cliquey.
hottest comedians in the world, but they work together.
Exactly.
So every time Mike Epps want to do a show, he's going to call them,
Yeah.
right? Or he wants like the new hot people of social media, he'll call them.
It's like
But
Adam
there's
Sandler and his
loads of hot
yeah.
people, in,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's
So-
all clicky. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you click. Everybody clicks up with a crew.
Was
You know
who
what
they
I'm
like
saying?
to
I
work
feel
with.
like a lot of times, especially when it comes to Caribbean comedians, we're looked at as other. You know what I mean? In the whole comedy, especially in the stand-up comedy sphere.
Yeah.
You don't really know, comedians that have used West Indian comedy that are more famous than West Indian comedians, if that makes sense, that they're taking from.
It's hip hop. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. It's
hip-hop.
this whole Sean Paul thing, like where
It's the Post Malone shit. He came in hip hop. Was like, okay, now I'm here. Goodbye.
it's
I'm
gonna
not fucking
take
with this shit.
it's gonna take one palatable West Indian, one that's like half white, where they're gonna be like, okay, we kind of get this now.
Yeah.
Because
The
even
Joe
when it
Coy
comes
of West Indian comedy.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because you see what evil Joe Coy, that's a great
He
example.
needed,
under
he
the,
needed the half whiteness.
He needed
to
that
blow
half
up.
whiteness for him to blow up, and he had to
Well,
attach
even-
himself
even-
to
even
Chelsea
Russell
Handler.
Peters.
Yeah.
Russell Peters was who I was thinking of when I was talking.
I knew that.
Because of the Punani joke and all that. We
Punani.
love that here. That's a classic to Toronto. I don't know about outside of
there's
Toronto.
gonna be, so there's going to be a lot of people that will use the culture and reference the culture for their own benefit.
Absolutely.
And that's just and for the funny. That's funny. There's a mosquito, right?
Oh, good catch. Keep it.
There really was.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Smacking the shit out of you?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I didn't want him to bite you. Because this statement is going to bite you. No, but there's people that, but I wouldn't even say Norm, for example, because Norm is a part of the culture.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Norm actually was Marshall Montana's cook.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I watched him in Trinidad, in One Woodbrook, doing his job
Right.
for the King of Caribbean soca.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't even say him. I'm talking about the people that conveniently
They
utilize
dip
the
their toes in
culture
it.
Right.
and don't give back or
Absolutely
anything
not.
to the culture.
They just
You know what I'm
bastardize
saying?
it.
Yeah.
Those are the people that get on my nerves. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it's because of the European brainwash that Caribbean people will constantly keep letting it happen.
Right.
Because even, let's say, for example, even if you go to Jamaica, you go to a resort, you could be of Caribbean descent or Jamaican descent, and they will still treat that white man from England
Way better.
Way better than they treat
Absolutely.
you.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, man, soon, just give me a minute.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's
so what
ingrained.
and they start twanging, and so what do you want, sir? And all
It's
that
ingrained.
foolishness.
It's ingrained.
So it's
I love some
engraved in your
British
brain
people.
that this is the elite people.
Yeah.
So even when they use the culture, they cool with it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why that it's such a shaky line with people speaking patois. Like when Chet Hanks was doing it.
Is that why Chet Hanks is
People in Jamaica were
They
like,
embrace it. They love it.
People outside of Jamaica were like, what the hell are you doing?
Exactly.
Because we see how much of a slippery slope that is from here. They don't see it. Because to them, it's just like tourism, money, bring more people.
That's what'll always happen when it comes to the Caribbean culture. They'll always conveniently use us when they want to.
Yep.
And we're going to continue to let them do that.
Yeah.
And that's just what it's about.
Yeah. Well, we're building our own thing. I feel like Dale Elliott's doing incredible work right now. I feel like you're been doing incredible work. White Yachty doing incredible work. And like I said, we are, at least in Jamaica, I can't speak for outside Jamaica, but we are heavily rooted in plays. So stand-up is never really like, we had some stand-up comedians like Bello, Blacka, Oliver Samuels, not really. But the plays is what really drove us. So now stand-up is kind of new to our community. That's why you see sometimes you go to a show, especially a West Indian. Yeah. It wasn't as prevalent as it is now with the amount of Jamaican stand-up comedians. I don't know about Trinidad or Guyana. Well, not Guyana. About Trinidad or Barbados or any of those
South
stand-up
America,
comedians, but I know at least for Jamaicans, I'm seeing the most stand-up comedians that I've ever seen.
I feel like stand-up comedy is new to almost most cultures in the world. It's only like America's the one place where it's ingrained in their culture and society.
Well, that's of mainstream culture.
Yeah.
Stand-up been happening ever since. I mean, you got Eddie Murphy, you got Richard Pryor, you got Redd Fox, you got, all of the greats that have been doing it. In, like you said earlier, in, Caribbean culture is more of plays, pantomime, that type of business, reenactments and stuff like that. I don't even remember Oliver to be really doing
He
it.
never did stand-up.
Yeah.
He had like a show where he told a 1-2 joke in between sets, but it wasn't like stand-up routine.
Absolutely.
Right.
But there's people from Trinidad like Larry Joseph. There's people like Sprangalang that they actually did stand-up comedy.
Bello.
There's Trevor Eastman from Barbados that did stand-up comedy, you know what I'm saying, and still doing it.
Yeah.
There's so many people that, put their foot in the stand-up comedy game. And then when I forwarded with the perspective of a Caribbean person in the States. So I had the blueprint from watching, the Redd Foxes and all these people, and just implemented us into it.
Especially being in New York.
You know
the
what I mean?
Mecca.
That's the Mecca.
The Mecca of stand-up comedy.
When I first started doing stand-up comedy, everybody called me about doing comedy clubs, and I was like, no, I only do theaters. And I was doing 3,000, 2,000, 1,500 people. And they was like, if you really want to be a stand-up comedian, you got to play the rooms.
Bullshit.
You got to do the improvs and the Last Factories and the...
See, you're doing it.
So what it is that...
You gotta...
You're preaching against what you were just saying earlier, though.
No.
He's
I'm
always been in
saying
that thinking.
you have to understand, you have to be able to experience both. You can't just discredit one whole side.
Right.
You try it.
Well, you don't have to
do it.
Don't have to
But you
discredit.
don't have to have it be your bread and butter place of training. You can train so many different places.
Yeah.
Well, your name becomes relevant in that circuit. That's number one. It starts becoming known through all of the other people, and it's the gym.
Yeah.
It's the gym.
That's how I look at it.
So, and that's what I had to learn. Like the comedy clubs is the gym. That's where you go train, you go work out, you try your new material, and then you go to the theaters.
And then you do it.
So a lot of people don't even understand the economics of what the stand-up comedy thing is about, right? So for me, my sketches that I do on Instagram is my albums. Like in comparison to an artist, right? An artist drops music, right? And when he does his shows, you want to come see him do his music, right? So it's the same thing with us. However, every comedian ultimate goal should be to have specials and stuff of such, right? So you're working that material in those comedy clubs to go to the theaters to
eventually
prep yourself to film your special, right? Once you film a special, those jokes is trash ban.
Done.
Gone.
That's
Gotta
trash
move
ban.
on.
Finished.
You need a new hour.
You need new hour now.
And you should have been working on it halfway through the year already.
Right. So this is what a lot of comedians don't realize. Because, all right, cool. We on stage and you see me, and of course I'm gonna bring new jokes and I'm gonna imply new stuff. However, I still didn't get to shoot that special yet. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I'm ready to shoot that special, that's when a lot of people feel like, oh, it's time to transition into new jokes. No. If I go to
You do your best.
If I go to a city numerous amount of times and you want those people to come continue seeing you, you better come with some new stuff.
Fresh shit.
Yep.
You gotta have
You know
fresh
what I'm
shit.
saying?
Have to. And that's the thing. It's like there's this like little gray area, not gray area, but like comfort zone of your material has been seen, but not seen enough where you can do this. You can now do the special and everybody can witness it, or you can do it too much. Like if I've seen some comedians do a city 3 times and it's the same material from the first time.
I've seen
And now it's like, what's the point of doing a special?
I've seen comedians do the same material for 15 years.
Oh yeah.
It's still
Easily.
Oh yeah.
Now,
Easily.
I know people that have done it for 15 years
They might
because they
add
haven't been to
one,
that
two
city before.
new things, but
Yeah.
it's still the same material.
Yeah.
But those people never even usually never have a special.
Yeah.
And that's why they're able to continue recycling that for 15 years.
But just
But
pack
some
it
But
up.
it's like,
People
why
gotta
would
try
you
to-
want to
Yeah,
do
just
that?
do one special. That's it, man. Just,
Well, that's the thing, because a lot of people haven't even tried to test it in other cities, so they wouldn't even know it's
if it works,
universal,
yeah.
if it works, right?
Okay.
But then not everybody leaves their comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people just stay within their
Listen,
zone,
bro,
within their city.
We live in a society right now where it's self-reliant, right? Everyone is talking about Netflix, right? But there's also comedians that's dope that don't have a Netflix
More
special.
facts. Yeah.
For example, Ali Sadiq.
Amazing.
Ali
right?
Sadiq is the greatest storyteller of all time.
He did his thing on YouTube and got millions of views, right? And he's relevant
Schultz,
in the
man.
comedy world.
Schultz
Right?
is the
Exactly.
blueprint for that.
I
You
think
got
Mark Norman has the best
So
YouTube
many
special.
people, and you
Has
got to
a-
understand that
Mark Norman.
Netflix pay you according to your ticket sales.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't know that.
Monique
right?
did
So when they so when they go and do their research and they see how much tickets you sold for the year, if they come to you and say, listen, we're giving you $50,000 for a special, that's because that's how much you were selling.
Facts.
And they predicate their interest that they're getting back from investing in you as the people who's going to buy your tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So the people who buy your tickets is the people who's going to watch your show. Right? So, and then you come and you disappoint. So if you come and you disappoint,
Which
then
is, I would say the majority of specials on Netflix are a disappointment.
Super
absolutely.
disappointing.
Because there's way
Absolutely.
more that you don't see than you do see.
Because
And that's-
you can't see too much on your Netflix shit.
And that's
either.
the messed up part
That
that,
too,
that
yeah.
we can't even sit here, right, and talk about the failures because you're hating now.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
And you may be
because
blackballed.
if I was to call a name and say, well, Homeboy was hyping up his Netflix special, but it was trash. Oh, he's hating. Oh, that's crazy. I'm not hating. I'm stating facts.
Facts. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it is what it is. But
So if most of the specials are trash, then why is doing a special the thing?
It's part of the art.
It's a part of the art. It's like
It's like releasing your album.
That's
Yeah.
like asking an artist, why would you want to put out an album if you have singles?
yeah, you got to
know
put
what
it
I'm saying? If I'm
together.
putting
They
out
wanna see that
singles,
body of work.
And
Yeah,
trash artists don't know they're trash.
yeah.
And at the
But-
same time, regardless of what a lot of comedians say, a lot of it is still competitive. And so when you have specials that are revered, like Raw, Delirious, like you want to have that. You know what I mean? You grew up idolizing these guys because they had those and you were able to listen to them. So now you're like, I need to make my own Raw. I need to make my own Delirious, my own, what was that?
It's almost
Andrew Santino.
It's almost like
Good
setting
cheeseburger.
your legacy
Yeah.
in stone. Even down to the Andrew Dice Clays and stuff like that. Like that was like just you could always go back and look at it. Let's say, for example, right? Martin ain't the same Martin that we watched and go to run tell that.
She knows that
Right.
well.
Right? But however, we can always go back to run tell that and watch that and be like, nah, homeboy is funny.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's me with Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
Going back to see those old Def Jam comedy sets.
Okay, so then,
And when you go to see like a Chris Tucker, you're going within hopes of saying, I'm going to see what I watched on film, but you know.
But then you're very disappointed.
You said it.
Yeah.
Overdue Comedy Tour, June 30th. 2 shows, 6:15, 8:15
Toronto,
at
get
Toronto
ready.
Pavilion Center.
Yeah.
One-man show, Majah Hype. Let's make some noise. Gems.
Yeah, big up to all of the Caribbean comedians that's on the come up. You know what I'm saying? Stay focused, stay motivated, and stay true to yourself.
Yeah, man.
You know,
We need a Caribbean Kings of Comedy Tour.
yeah. You know, I you know, for me when I started this, you know, I created my own lane.
Yeah.
You know, before me there was Trabas,
me.
Who else?
Dale wasn't around yet.
No.
He was Vine. Prince, what's his name?
I said before me, bro.
Oh, before.
Yeah. You're naming a bunch of people that came after.
Who was? Yeah. Well, Yard Boys. That's about probably the only other 2 I know of.
Yeah. And they wasn't talking to themselves in videos like I was.
Yeah, no way.
And that's why I started doing that. You know what I'm saying? For one, I didn't want to all of the people who I decided to try to collab with wasn't playing the parts properly.
Yeah,
I ended up starting doing my own stuff where I was just creating, you know, different scenarios, changing my shirts, and that's where the wigs came in at, because I'm like, yeah. So, you know, now I look and I see everybody do that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, they followed the trend. You know what I'm saying? I'm a trendsetter. But at the end of the day, I don't care about the credit part of it. You know what I'm saying? I just care about the actual growth of the community and the culture.
Facts.
Because that's what's more important.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So, I mean, I commend all of the comedians who are talented, who really love this and want to do this, you know.
Hell yeah.
You know, just stay focused and do what you got to do. Because like I said, there's a lot of people out here that just want to you know,
make money.
Business.
That's it. For real, man. Thank you so much for coming through, bro.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure, man.
Appreciate
good luck
you.
with your shows.
And thank you for letting me do your shows, man. And thank you, Wes, for always letting me.
Yeah,
let
man.
me
Big
rock
up
it.
Wes, man. Hold on. Let's get some
Big up
gunshots
Wes.
for Wes Hype.
Yeah, big up West.
Big Wes Hype.
You know,
doing
Wes-
great things for Caribbean stand-up comedy.
I want to be
and
the mighty
Toronto.
crown of West Indian comedy.
Mighty Crown? What's Mighty Crown?
What's Mighty Crown?
What do you mean by that? Like,
The Japanese dudes that are
You want to be
doing.
the Far East comedian?
Yeah. I would like to be the one, you know, Asian guy that
Grilling
gets
him like that.
Far East Side movement?
Yeah, basically, yeah. Far East Side dude.
Like
know?
a G6?
I want to be those guys that do this. You know what I'm saying? I want to do this in comedy.
Yo, the niggas in the mall. Yeah, that was wild. Big up Majah Hype coming through, man. Who the hell is calling me on? It's Norm, isn't it?
Is it me?
I guarantee you it's Norm.
Oh, it is I. It is
This
I.
fucking guy.
It is I.
Yo,
It is
Norm's
I.
phone etiquette is otherworldly. He
wasn't even touching the phone. How did that happen?
Yo, you know what's
He
crazy?
wasn't even touching it.
Say, how does that happen?
So watch this. No, funny thing is, I've been trying to keep up on my phone etiquette. Yo, I am 5.5 hours phone screen time.
That's amazing.
And I was like, but I've been using it the same amount of time. It's because for 3.5 hours, I actually locked the screen for once. Because like the 3.5 hours is just unlocked
Oh
screen
my God.
in my
brave soul.
pocket
Just
and whatever.
mayhem,
That's
bro.
why like I gotta be crazy.
Message
Automatic.
themes.
Yeah, I mean, I swear I have it on automatic after like 3 minutes to shut down, but it doesn't.
Well,
for
if
some
it's on
reason.
low battery, if it's on that yellow bar, it's not gonna do it. It'll close in less time, actually.
Actually, yeah, you're right. That's why I'm always low bat. I'm at 14 right now.
14.
14 is wild.
On road is crazy.
With no whip, it's crazy. 14 is
Super wild, that.
I should plug in right now.
That's a good idea. Well, you have the option.
I
living on the edge, man. You know what kind this guy.
I would love to just take a vacation in Norm's mind for a week.
Yeah, man.
Just to see how chaotic it is.
I see.
Ooh,
that.
very
Well,
nice. And there's an extension right there.
Well, you know
in the
what?
wall.
Like, That's half the reason I survive in the precarious situations that I throw myself into.
Your street smarts have to be on
Yeah.
fucking one.
Well, there's a lot of street smarts and then a lot of, oh, there goes my drink.
Oh,
A lot of that.
Don't worry, it wasn't that much. It wasn't that much.
Oh, man.
No, just the ability to just be aloof, amidst situations where you should be like overly cautious. I'm just like, nah.
You call it an ability.
So go.
Like a talent.
Talent to be aloof and carefree.
It's elusive.
Some call it careless. I call it carefree.
To be carefree would mean that you don't panic, which you do panic.
I panic, but I also enjoy composure. So in my panic, it's like, composure.
It helps you appreciate composure.
Yes.
And times when you're organized.
It shows
way
the contrast.
More. Yes.
Right? It's just like, yes.
You are a man of duality.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. So
I need the extreme in order to see what I need to see.
I see. I got it. Well, did you see the extreme Kendrick concert?
Come on now. Oh man. He wanted to. I feel like he wanted to recreate that album cover, but in real time. Real life.
Album cover. The Pimp My Butterfly?
Yeah, Butterfly.
Yeah. That was dope. I don't think it was that calculated. I think it's just more so he wanted to show the sections unified in one picture and have that, solidified for rap history. Because that's what that show was.
It was incredible.
It was rap history.
It was incredible.
It was a great day in Harlem, but via
A Great Day in Hip Hop. Yeah, I love that picture. I have it.
Yeah. So there's a Great Day in Hip Hop, which is what we were.
There's a Great Day in Harlem one?
So that's where they took it
jazz
from.
one. Yes.
Yeah, they took it from the Great Day in
Gordon
Harlem.
Parks, one of the best photographers of all time.
A Great Day in Harlem is
A Great Day in Harlem is with like Herbie Hancock and
all the jazz
guys from like the black and white
dope.
days. And then they recreated it with the Greatest Day in Hip Hop, and it was like over 250 rap artists in like 1994 or some shit like that.
That's so dope.
It was insane.
And
I
they
have it
did
blown
one
up
in
my living room.
Toronto for the Greatest Day in Toronto, and I was
really
very
cool.
fortunate to be in that photo shoot right in the front with a T-shirt that just said "Yo, guy."
The most Toronto thing in the picture.
What was that one for?
It was for Manifesto, year 5, I believe.
Who was in the picture that was...
Notable names: Boy Wonder, Maestro Fresh West, Chaos,
Chaos.
Socrates?
Socrates wasn't
Mishimi?
there. Mishimi wasn't
Cardinal?
there. Cardinal wasn't there.
Damn, we done.
There was a slew of heads that came up in the 90s and early 2000s, and then, like a lot of people from like the back of the scenes, like the background of hip hop in Toronto.
The Damons.
The Damons, the
Big
David
C's.
Click Cox.
Yeah, David
the
Click
Big
Cox.
C's Click.
David Click Cox.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Legend.
Yeah.
Don't do
I just
that.
wanted to-
Respect
I
yourself.
want to get confirmation.
Respect your jaw, young blood.
YOK,
Respect your jaw, young blood.
Freaky old nigga.
Yeah. DJ Son of Soul, rest in peace.
Who started that respect your jaw thing?
Respect your
Has to be
jaw.
New York.
It was definitely a New
has
Yorker,
to
but I
be
just
New
can't
York,
remember who
yeah.
did it.
I don't know.
Respect your jaw, young blood.
Huck to it.
Hot to a girl is going crazy.
Yo, man, that's awesome.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get
But
to
Kendrick.
Kendrick.
I was hosting a comedy
He spit.
open
He was
mic.
spitting.
You're dumb.
He was Huck to it.
It's June. It's June.
A few more days.
It's Juneteenth. Yeah, man. I was hosting an open mic comedy show, and so I was watching it with the volume extremely low and in between sets, and so I wasn't really catching the whole vibe. And it was pissing me off,
Bro.
And I voluntarily did this show. Like nobody asked me to. I was just like, I gotta get some reps in. I was like, fuck man.
rest, nigga.
Worst
show.
night to ever choose, and I didn't want to bail on her. I felt really bad, so I just
But
went.
can't you rewatch it? Wasn't it
I did.
available after?
I did. No,
was hard
that's
to
that's
find,
when
though.
I caught the real vibe. That's why
Okay.
the next day I rewatched it.
Where'd you watch it? YouTube, right?
Yeah. Somebody screen
Yeah,
recorded the
exactly.
whole thing.
I did too.
And from start to finish, man,
Bro.
I gotta commend him, bro. He
Yes.
did an incredible job. A lot of mic issues, which I mean, when you're dealing with
with
fucking 40 artists
Yeah.
and a 40 wireless mics, it's like
I
you're
noticed
gonna
too.
run into some problems.
With the women that were performing. I forget the name of that group.
That group of girls
Yeah, it was
with the pregnant
unfortunate.
girl,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one was a fail. Ty Dolla $ign, the whole
dang.
set couldn't hear him, and he
they-
kept like going. the whole set. He walked off the stage without ever singing a word.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn,
And there was somebody else that the mic was not working for. But I love that they brought out so many young independent stars.
Bro, representing so many different areas. Like the fact that
Bay
Rebel opened the
Area.
show, I was so happy.
I'm doing that dance.
I've been doing this dance.
Summer, nigga.
I've been doing this dance for like years now.
All
Because Rebel
summer.
is so hard, bro.
Yeah, no, he's
ignorant,
crazy.
He's very LA. He's bro.
I really like that Bay Detroit sound.
Yeah.
That their style of rapping, although if you don't catch the beat, you think they're off beat.
Just listen to Rebel. He literally just talk raps.
Yeah,
That's what they do.
When you perform, if you have money right in front of him, like that's how he raps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they say that's the thing I like about Bay and Detroit rap is that they're so comedic.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing is comedic. Like Rio the Young OG,
bro.
so
Rio,
comedic.
Rebel
So
has so
comedic,
many
bro.
funny bars. He's like, I think, what is it? I don't think you have any money, and we should talk about it. Like that's just a random.
He just random, like,
throws it
and we
away.
should talk. It's the way they say
Exactly.
it too. It's so calm.
We should
Such a
talk
calm
about it,
demeanor.
yeah.
It's dope.
There's this
And-
one Asian dude that keeps on like singing the same like song from the Bay, and he's just like hanging off trees and shit. But he has that flow where he's like, I'm so incredible. I'm terrible. I'm incredible. And I'm just like, yo, why is it so ugly but so
saucy?
cool?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fire.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's like the way they talk sounds so polite, but it's like not polite topics at all.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's that contrast of
is,
their
it is.
voices and the way they deliver, but what they're talking about is like
Some real shit.
real gutter shit, like
Exactly.
bipping and bopping, like
Yeah,
these
all
niggas
that
do the most. But it was really dope how they had like I love the screen setup, stage setup in the middle of the audience.
Yeah.
They had E40 narrate,
Hell yeah.
which was incredible in between each
smart.
set. DJ Head had like the young up and comers, and then DJ Mustard had the more established artists.
yeah.
YG came out for the Mexicans, Mexican Jay-Z. That's what they call him, Mexican Jay-Z.
That's
funny as
He's
hell.
not even Mexican, but Mexicans love that nigga.
Oh.
His
That's
whole
funny.
style is Mexican
It's
though.
funny.
Yeah.
He
Straight
dresses
cholo,
like a
man.
cholo all the
Blood
time.
in, blood out, home. Come on,
With
man.
the hard bottoms. Love
And
it.
I don't know if his section is like heavily Mexican or something. I have no idea. I don't know how that works, but I just know Mexicans love
YG.
that
Yeah.
nigga, bro. So he came out, YG came out. Who else of noteworthy? Roddy Ricch.
Roddy
bodied
Ricch,
it.
Yo, unexpected pop out was my homie Gemini Rights. What's his name? You know him? Steve Lacy.
Yes,
He sounded the best.
he
actually
sounded
sounded
great.
the best.
Yeah,
No,
he
he
sounded
sounded
great, but
really
it was
good.
just such a not a. This is
know.
not for you.
Not a canon pop.
But that's-
We
but
have these
just saw,
gangster
like-
ass niggas coming out
But
with
I
blood
love that.
rat flags and
I
shit.
just saw him post, or it was a screen grab from some type of interview that said, "I'm from Compton."
Yeah,
That's what I'm
So-
saying. Yeah. Like,
That's why he
when
was there.
people-
Yeah.
And that's
when
what.
people are saying like he doesn't belong there, he's like, "I'm from
That's
Compton."
Well, that's the
and
thing
what
with
I love
I do
about that
belong.
area.
Maybe not the music
Yeah.
aligns, but I'm from there.
That's
This
what
is
I'm
my
saying.
spot.
That's why Kendrick's the man, though. This
Yeah.
nigga in June united gay niggas and gangster niggas.
Tyler came out too.
Tyler came out
Tyler.
and had the set. I'm sorry.
Dog.
I told y'all niggas, don't play with that boy.
Damn, man.
Tyler the Creator is him, dog.
Yeah.
That guy came out, rocked the stage, left. Nobody had that type of eruption.
Yeah.
People lost their.
Yo.
I'm watching people in the background, and you're sick. It's June, man.
It's
Let
June,
me,
man.
Let me rock.
Juneteenth, bro.
Let me rock, man. God damn. It's Juneteenth. Let the black nigga, gay nigga rock,
You ready?
man.
Let the man create.
Came out, did his little dance or whatever,
Yeah.
and I'm just watching people lose their minds. And his performance, his stage presence is always the best to me. He killed it. And then obviously,
I feel like the crowd was a lot of white people, wasn't
majority. I would
Yeah.
say majority.
it? Okay.
Majority, because it was open to the public, tickets and whatnot. I believe at one point people saw almost 100,000 people in the waiting line.
What?
California is a big
Jeez.
place.
Yeah.
And
is.
not to mention all the people who flew in.
Oh yeah.
There's
that's a
so
fact.
many. I know a lot of New Yorkers that flew in
Taylor
to go to that show.
from
Taylor,
Brilliant.
Taylor got her ticket last minute.
Yeah.
Did you see that video where she gets the text?
No.
Oh, it's so cool.
I just remember the prank
She
they
made a
did on
whole
her.
vlog,
Oh,
and you see her get the
wow.
text and start losing her mind while they're recording, and then you see her fly out and her whole day there. And
shit.
shit.
But
It was
wasn't there something about he didn't want out of towners to come in? Like
He wanted it for.
he wanted
his
only
Oh,
LA
really? I didn't hear
heads
that.
to
Did he
come
say
through. Well, no, I don't know if I was where did I hear it from? But
Maybe
I was
DJ
reading-
Head. He
I
was like the
reading
talking
something
head
about,
of that.
Like he was trying to refund tickets to people from out of town so he could make more tickets, more room for people from Compton to show up.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. It was very much a California, West Coast unification.
Yeah.
And the ability to bring out all those sets.
Yeah.
Everybody dancing and hugging on stage for however long. They were on stage for almost an hour.
Bro.
It was crazy, man. I never seen some shit like that in my life.
Just the way Kendrick performed as well, like his conditioning, bro.
There was to me he was incredible performer, obviously, but you also cannot forget the words.
Okay,
that's a very important part of rap.
A lot of
and
words?
he forgot, yes, the Euphoria part, like the
He forgot
third
third verse.
That's my favorite part.
He forgot third verse on Euphoria, and he forgot words in Not Like Us, the two biggest songs.
Oh wow.
I mean,
Because there was times where
he
you
had
go,
5 times to perform it.
Oh, because he switched the lyrics.
He had 5 times to perform it. You
6.
telling me 6 times?
and he
still
forgot
kept
the
on fucking
words.
up every time?
He fucked it up.
Amen.
I would say
In the same spot?
2 or 3 times in the same spot, at least twice.
Come on.
Damn.
And then a lot of people were like, DJ Head was like, "Oh, that Not Like Us moment wasn't even planned. That just happened." I'm like,
Okay, sure.
"Nigga, shut the fuck up." First of all, he performs it twice, okay, and does his little his dance, which everyone's giving to Hotline Bling for some reason.
It
The
is
biggest
that.
reach. It's
Come
not.
on. Nah, it's facts.
All right, nigga.
Gemini's, bro.
Whatever.
We
Anyways,
locked in. We locked in.
anyways, he performs it twice, does his dance, whatever. Third time, 2 dancers come out, opposite ends of the stage, doing choreographed dances. He's no longer walking where the fireworks are, and the fireworks are coming out on beat. But no one planned this.
Oh, and he's
Not
dancing
by
like that
number
too.
3.
I saw
Not
that.
on number 3. They didn't do it on number 1.
That was all synchronized, like
That's all
improv.
planned.
He knew what he
Yeah,
was
yeah,
doing.
yeah.
He knew what he was doing. Now I'll say 4th and 5th, maybe not. Maybe not. Who knows if he planned on bringing all the goons on stage? I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But I know those first 3 were very much planned. Very much
Having
planned.
the goons on stage is definitely planned.
Pardon me?
It had to have been planned. You can't just. You have to invite them, and like they have to know that these people are coming.
Exactly.
And then they have to know that they're gonna be not in one section over there, one section
Where the
over
fire
there, one
is.
section
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah.
No, but I'm just saying, like when you're having like goons and like leaders and all that shit, they're not just gonna be okay unless this was discussed beforehand.
Well, no, it's not even that part. I'm just referring to the actual performance of Not Like Us the first 3 times. He was on stage by himself the first 2 times.
So I'm saying the 4th and 5th, you're like, oh, maybe. But if these goon people are coming out in the 4th and 5th, then that has to be planned.
That's a good point, actually.
When it comes
But
to
why?
gangsters are not going to allow you to like, they're not going to be like, oh yeah, let me just do
They
something
did that day
YOLO.
though. That day was unprecedented with gangsters. These guys they should be killing each other.
Okay, but you don't think that they had a conversation beforehand? They're not gonna. Okay, so
But I don't think it was a
planned.
conversation. I don't think the conversation was because you see him even like rounding people up. Not everybody was in the same area. Not everybody was there at the same time. He's rounding people up, and stage hands are grabbing people from wherever. There's some people still in the crowd that he's like, "Yo, that's my man right there. Bring him up. Bring him up." So it's like I don't know.
Let LeBron stay there.
LeBron's smart. LeBron's smart. LeBron stayed off that stage because he's got too many endorsements. You can't be up there doing what Westbrook's doing. Westbrook up there going crazy,
Going nuts, man.
and it was really dope to see grown men like having fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just
Gangsters have
everybody
a lot of fun
just.
sometimes.
They have fun. They have
over
tons
there.
of fun.
Gangsters
But
got to do their
together,
dance too, man.
together, not so much.
While holding hands?
While holding hands and dancing.
Yeah.
Doing their own
gang
little line
culture's so
dance?
funny. Niggas are clicking their heels while holding another man's
Dancing and
hand.
holding hands, yeah.
And that, you don't fuck with those niggas.
Very happy and stuff, yeah.
Those mans will shoot you. That's crazy.
Yeah,
So it was wild
That's
to
how they can
see.
do that shit.
A lie?
exactly.
Oh,
That's a fact. That's
is that
actually
the
a fact.
key?
Yes.
You want to make fun of me dancing?
If you want to be gay, be gangster.
Oh, now that he's gone. Gay.
I think people were discussing his set list and saying that the set list wasn't like some were like, oh, I don't think he should have performed. He should have just performed the diss songs, which I was on the side of when I wasn't listening to it.
Yeah.
When I rewatched, I was like, oh no, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Aside from swimming pools, Didn't need to play. Didn't need to play.
I don't like that song myself.
Hate
but
it.
It's a song that's gonna play because of how big it is.
But it doesn't need to play because of how big it is. It's we're like everything he was doing was like a great build up with DNA, King Kunta, because we know he's talking to Drake on those songs. He's not talking to Drake on Swimming Pools. We now know, looking back, King Kunta, oh, that was a Drake diss. DNA, oh, that was a Drake diss. All those songs had Drake disses layered in there.
Yeah.
Swimming Pools was just like, why?
I guess it's just it's a concert song.
You know what I mean? Like, but it's like I just didn't understand it. It brought down the energy for me, but maybe that's what he wanted. Maybe he wanted the energy down so he could raise it back up again and give that contrast. Who knows?
Did he play Poetic Justice?
Speaking of that, DJ Mustard did play Drake songs.
He did?
He played 2 Drake songs.
But
What
do
songs?
remember, Mustard.
I can't remember. I literally can't remember. I just remember seeing people being like,
Wait a
why is
minute.
he playing a Drake
Yeah.
song?
Interesting. I didn't peep that.
I know he was doing that to
said
show,
we
like,
love-
hey, man, because he went out in the open and said, hey, man, I didn't even know Kendrick uses.
He's trying his very best to stay neutral.
He's staying so neutral.
but
man.
he's not neutral in Drake's eyes.
Who, Mustard?
Yeah.
He's not neutral.
He's trying to be. He's like, oh, I didn't know he was gonna do that on Not Like Us beat. And then Big Boy just now, in the Not Like Us video shoot, people see him wearing a Blue Jays hat. And niggas are like, what the fuck?
He's not
And he's
neutral.
like, bruh, listen, where I'm from, it's called the Jungles. That's the hat there. And remember we were going through the list?
hats you can't.
And that was one of the hats. It's that specific hat.
Yeah.
And so I was like,
I think he's not trying to stay neutral, but he's trying to be like, I didn't beat you that bad. Like, it's like they hit you. I was just looking like, yo.
I don't think if I'm
complicit.
He's
if
not
I'm
being
on the other
Metro.
end,
He's not being Metro Boomin in this
Exactly.
situation.
Just
Yeah.
yeah. the show, man.
well, because Drake didn't take his girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's very different. Do we not know that? His own sister said it. Metro Boomin's own sister said it.
No, I'm talking about Mustard.
Oh,
Because Mustard's divorced.
Yeah, no, he didn't. Drake didn't take. Well, Drake followed his ex-wife.
This is what I'm saying.
Oh,
This is what I'm saying.
like yesterday.
What?
I see niggas start
Yeah,
tweeting it
so-
like, "Yo, Drake followed his ex-wife now." I'm like, the game is a game, brother.
You think I couldn't beat before I was not following? Like, what the hell?
Shit. I mean, it's his ex-wife though,
Yeah,
and he kind of didn't he shaft her in the divorce?
he did.
Didn't she move on to somebody else?
Probably, but I mean, he did her dirty in the divorce, didn't
Yeah, it was
he, DJ
something-
Mustard?
I remember towards the end, like a bunch of nasty things were
Well,
coming
didn't he
out.
do her dirty because he left for somebody else? Like he left for
I'm pretty sure he
somebody
did.
famous?
That looked exactly like her.
Vaguely.
I could have sworn it was somebody that looked exactly like her that he left for, and it was after he got skinny.
Oh, yeah,
Nasty work. He putting it back on now though. That Ozempic running out.
the first batch was epic for sure.
That first batch was doing
Yeah,
numbers.
it was, bro.
Look at Busta.
Dog.
That man
20 days, bro.
13 months pregnant again, man. But
But that stomach looks like he got a hernia, man. Like that's
this looks like
crazy.
gout, dog.
Busta's gut. That I mean, who knows if
Maybe
that
he
was
was
that?
bloated.
Maybe. That's a lot of bloat.
Maybe he has IBS.
Ooh. But most niggas do, to be
Really?
honest. I know a lot of women that be like, yo, my boyfriend's stomach is not normal.
Is it me?
Yo, that's just crazy.
Yo, his ex-wife lost a lot of weight.
Really?
Yeah.
She looking good.
This is how she used to like look.
Put on
Oh,
Apple
I never knew
TV.
she was bigger.
Put on the Apple TV.
Yeah,
Let
she's a thicker
the
girl,
people
too.
see it.
I remember being pretty.
Busted.
She's not pretty because she
girl?
gained weight.
No.
Oh, we got him.
You can't get me like that. You can't. That's friendly fire, baby.
Niggas like, I'm a part of the community. I can say fat. I can say the F word.
Okay, so this was her before.
This is her before.
Oh,
This
yeah.
was
no, I remember
her
looking
a
like
little
that.
bit more recent.
Oh, they did a weight loss journey together, it looks
Yeah.
like. Oh.
That's what I remember.
Wait, that's her now?
Yeah.
Oh, what? That's what she always look like that. No, she's
What
she's
the
fire,
fuck?
bro. I'm telling you, she's fire.
Wait, no, go back to that first picture.
Yeah.
No, not that picture. Like the first picture you
Fat, I
showed
would
us.
throw up in my house, bro. My wife's ex-wife.
God
I
damn.
think she's pregnant. in
pregnant.
this
She's
one.
got to be pregnant in this.
No, she's pregnant in this
No,
one.
she's bloated.
Oh,
But
she's
she was
bloated.
always she's pregnant.
Jesus.
But she was always. I feel like she was always thicker.
She was thick.
Yeah,
dog.
look, she was thick
but
there.
It wasn't like.
Does
She
not-
look
I don't
good no
think she's
matter
pregnant.
what.
That's what I'm saying. See?
God damn.
See, that's the point I was
Nah,
trying to
that's a
make.
cheat code. You can look good, big and small. That's crazy.
Bro, she's.
You're not ugly. You're broke, man.
Man,
It is what it is,
she's
man.
really fire.
You know how ugly you broke.
She's
Oh
always been,
wow!
like,
Look
pretty.
at her there.
Yeah.
Oh,
why'd you say that?
Boondock.
what in the humpback whale?
Alicia Switch,
This is what? This is after the divorce?
I was like, oh, it's not a
Like, fuck y'all
photo.
niggas.
Oh, dog. This is
Oh,
after
she
divorce.
out here. That's May 18th. Oh, she out here
Yeah, I'm-
flaunting it.
I'm spinning the block, bro.
These are just all recent. She
spinning the
posts
block.
regularly. 5 days ago, you know?
No wonder Drake followed it.
Reporter page.
Why?
No, I'm saying
This guy said
if I'm
reporter page.
If I'm mustard. What, nigga? I'm doing nasty tactics.
Yeah.
She looks too good.
She's very pretty.
She messages you. She messages you and says, "Catch up, nigga."
Naturally.
I'm a relish in that one.
her name
Man, I got that onion booty.
Her name is Chanel Dijon.
Yeah.
Chanel
Dijon?
Dijon.
Yeah.
Dijon mustard.
Mustard?
Wait,
She did not change her name to Dijon.
wait. That's his last name though.
No,
so
it's-
she kept it.
Yeah.
Dijon? I
So this
thought
is
Dijon
her,
was
just
his
her
first name.
Instagram.
She kept his last
This is
name
her
like,
Instagram. It says Chanel Dijon. But then here it says Chanel,
Chanel
Theory or
Thierry.
whatever.
Thierry.
Thierry Henry.
Guy Thierry.
This guy.
Life story.
That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah. Gorgeous lady.
Well, back to Kendrick. How do you guys feel about like the concert in relation to Drake? Is this like, was that bad for him?
Dr. Dre? We didn't talk about
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre coming out and doing the "Psst, I see that here." That was one of the more iconic moments.
It's fire.
One of the more iconic moments.
was very fire.
Although, women don't feel that way because, he's got a history of abuse and dating a minor.
Nothing.
Yo,
but
you
the
guys
hits.
want to know something crazy though? Like, I don't know, the internet loves to give Kendrick credit, but like, did you know A minor is the only chord that is only white keys?
There's something else with it too.
Yeah,
like something. Oh, I can't remember what it was. There's another layer to that A minor bar, but yeah,
Allegedly.
allegedly, big allegedly. Yeah, I don't know how this fares for Drake. Like, because my thing is, a lot of people have been asking him to do something like that show for a long time.
Him being Drake.
Him being Drake, doing it for Toronto,
Ah,
right?
yeah.
And a lot of people are saying, he could have done this years and years ago.
Yeah.
When we had all that talent. But could he have?
No, not years and
do you
years
think
ago,
those
but-
niggas would have lined up and been on point the way those gangsters were?
Do you think that this thing that happened with Kendrick would have happened? No.
What do you mean?
Because we just saw it. I'm saying having all these gangs come together on stage, but that just speaks to the power or how much Kendrick wanted it to happen. I believe Drake could have made this happen if he really wanted to.
No.
Like 2 years ago?
I really don't
No.
think so.
Why? Because the polys here are worse than polys over there?
No,
I think
battle
the
needed
polys-
to happen.
I think that they probably respect that politics a lot more.
Facts.
Just because gang culture is really engraved
Embedded
in them.
over
this
there.
is just people who are play.
Just follow
And trying to be like
Yes,
those
follow
niggas.
fashion
Yeah.
Crips. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
These are
There's
kids
no-
who don't know shit. They don't know rules. They don't know regulations
Okay.
because nobody has really
And they
taught
think
them.
they have to
and they're
overcompensate.
just doing shit to do things.
There,
So
there ain't no
they
Crips
can't.
in the
And
freaking Metro Toronto Police. You know what I mean? Like, there's real fucking Crips out there that
this
are
is-
in organized
like,
crime
in
out
that
there.
area. This is something that's been passed down for generations and generations.
Of course, yeah, fair
And
enough.
there are people that can get certain folks in a room together and be okay.
Okay, so we don't have
And-
like
'Cause
big
they
Crip
look-
We
OGs
don't
here and shit like
have
that, right?
somebody who really runs.
Okay.
Shit.
We lost our OGs a couple times. There's been numerous raids where all the OGs from the
Okay,
block
yeah.
have been taken up, gone to jail for years,
sucks, yeah.
and the youngins are just running around with like chickens without a head.
Yeah.
And so,
The only time there's been rap that's been gang related in Canada is unfortunately Swollen Members and the freaking Hells Angels.
Yeah.
That's all we have. You know what I mean? There's no Bloods, Crips, real, like maybe not even Shower Posse, nothing. Like no
Yeah.
BMF, no nothing.
anything that's been over here that says they're that, they started it themselves. It wasn't like they got actual initiation.
Okay, that's
and-
unfortunate then. I didn't know
So
that.
like in Cali, that culture's been around
Yeah.
God knows how long, right?
It's the
So
70s,
it's-
60s.
they have a certain
Probably
order to
before that.
things. You know what I mean? And yeah, obviously gang culture is still kind of wild, but there's still, especially with the
Code,
OGs,
or, yeah, some kind of respect, some kind
they
of
can
order.
see they've been around long enough to see
Yeah.
where things can go
That makes
and
sense.
know that they doesn't have to go that route.
They have people who can actually regulate.
The OGs. Yeah.
Regulators! was. Yeah. And then on top of that, if you think about what the state of West Coast rap in regards to the mainstream, they haven't had as many people over the years as, say, a New York or the South, right? Like, it's kind of been fading out. Like, you had YG and Kendrick and Black Hippie, but like those guys are still not even necessarily mainstream. Like J-Rock just probably entered the mainstream with Win Win Win. Absol's still not mainstream. Schoolboy Q just entered the mainstream fold with the album before the last one. So it's like
he was mainstream before with Oxymoron, but
that's what I said. The album before.
Oh,
yeah,
that was like before. A few albums. That was like his second, third album.
Yeah. Yeah, Oxymoron was the one that you went mainstream with, and then he did a bunch of stuff in between that weren't mainstream. Yeah, and then he dropped the latest album, which is very mainstream.
Tyler, the Creator, is the only one that really like stood out.
Facts.
And, like,
just the future in general.
But that's why he got the most applause.
Right. Facts, because he's been putting in work there. At YG, same thing.
Because it was a majority white show.
Oh, yeah.
And so I don't understand these conversations where it's like, everybody's like, oh, he did this for the culture. He did this for culture. Sure, for like the local Compton people. But realistically, if all the stadium is filled with majority white people, are you really doing it for the culture?
I don't know how much he could have done about that, though. Like, the tickets are public. I don't know how he would have been able to funnel it directly to a certain community, like Black people or even just Compton itself. I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe he could have set new ground by working with Ticketmaster on something like that.
I think that is more talk than anything, because at the end of the day, Kendrick Lamar's biggest supporters are white folks.
They are, but that's a product of hip hop in general.
Same with Wu-Tang.
Anybody that is at the top of their craft, the majority, Drake included, their majority of their fans are going to be white, because that's how you become at the top.
But Drake is more, when it comes to his music, he is more diverse. Kendrick Lamar isn't.
No, that's for sure. But that's what white people gravitate to the most. The Wu-Tangs, the Talib Kweli's, the ones that are Black roots. That's where a lot of backpack hip hop purist white people, they will gravitate to those guys because they feel like that is legitimate. This is credibility for them as a white person in the hip hop space.
They don't have to like adhere to any gangsterisms or any like certain things of street culture. They could just be like, no, this is of hip hop culture and the rules of hip hop that apply. This is what we're adhering to. And that's what makes them like feel like, oh, we could be a part of this, because there's no way they can be a part of it through the street shit.
Yeah.
Like, you'll never see white people packing out a JT show or a Boozy show. And Boozy's never been near the top or mainstream. It's because he caters to a certain audience and he markets himself to the South only. Kendrick markets himself to everyone. Like, it's not like his music's very Black rooted, but his marketability is to everybody.
Like, why are folks so he's doing it for the culture, he's doing it for Black people, when realistically he's not? His main demographic is white folks.
No, but
the culture
More
is,
white people listen to Bob Marley than Black people.
Yeah, and Bob Marley did it for the culture. It's not on him who gravitates towards his music.
I think he's
more people now for Bob Marley listen to, like, white people might listen to.
No, even then.
Okay.
Even then, white people are the ones that got him around the world when he first started out. And yeah, plus he's half white, so we can't forget that as well. We were talking about the Joe Coy thing.
Yeah, when he shaves off them dreads, he's Jamaican Smokey Robinson.
Facts. He was in a suit. He was trying to do the Temptations thing early on. Like,
what?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Go look back at old Bob Marley pics,
Bob
man.
Marley doo-wop.
Yeah, doo-wop days.
Wow.
Before the Wailers, before the Rastafari, everything. And so I think Kendrick, he does do it for the culture in terms of the music. It's always Compton related. He's always talking about the hood. He's always talking about poverty-stricken neighborhoods and Black revolution, Black liberation. So I'm not going to say he doesn't do it for the culture, but I will say that the marketing is definitely not centered to just Black people. When you're talking about like the Adidas deals and just the little things that he does outside of rap, it's not marketed to just like, why do you do a Taylor Swift feature? that early in your career if it's for the culture. You know what I mean? Like little things like those.
What came first, the Bad Blood feature or Drizzy? I guess the Kendrick thing came first before Drizzy started like lifting weights to it.
Oh, the song. The commercial, you mean?
Yeah, the commercial.
Definitely. The song came like,
first.
yeah, it was like at least 2 or 3 years.
Was that a low key troll?
That's a good point.
Looking back at it, it might have been.
Yeah.
That was a low key troll.
Yeah.
But I don't think. This is why I'll say it's not a low key troll. It was an Apple commercial,
True.
There we go.
and Apple's gonna push who they need to push. And if you
And those
have
guys were
Drake
cool at the time.
yeah, and if you
So-
have Drake singing Taylor Swift, it's like wow, moneymaker. Let's go.
And then Kendrick also
They're under the same
co-signing.
label.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah. That
So-
just makes that's probably like a response to Kanye, if anything.
If anything,
At the time.
yeah. If anything, yeah, definitely. And
Resale value for the tickets to the concert, $350 to $1,500.
Jesus.
People assume that a majority of the attendees would be white Americans instead of black or people of color, but the gate reported at least 2/3 of the actual audience was black or brown.
but they were just higher up, so you couldn't see them.
What would be crazy is if they gave all the colored people the tickets to resell so they can make extra money on it. That would be a sick flex if Kendrick made
That's a
sure.
crazy intricate.
He's like, all right, I want to make sure that everybody that's, selling tickets outside, all the, what do you call it, the scalpers,
Scalpers?
are all
hood
of
niggas?
color from the hood in Compton.
I don't know. I'm calling scalpels. That's funny.
Right, for sure.
Yeah, it was an incredible show.
Yeah.
I hate sometimes these moments where somebody else does something and now it's like if you do it, you're a follow body.
Yeah.
Like you're just copying a trend,
Oh, yeah,
or you're just listening to what people say online. Like,
I hate that they freaking forget what OVO was for like 10 years straight,
Listen,
man. Like, what the fuck?
even Toronto people, listen, we gotta stop this narrative that Drake has done nothing for the city.
What do you mean,
It is
man? This guy-
absolutely asinine. I see your face frowning up. Do your research first.
Do
Don't
your
say nothing without saying it. I see your face.
Yeah.
I know your contrarian face. Dog, you went like this.
Yeah, because I was thinking about the artist, not what he's done for the city. He
Oh.
100% has done.
No,
for
but
the
people
city.
are talking
Can I
about
finish?
just for the
Damn.
city.
Let me
Just
finish.
for the
Hold
city.
on. He has done a lot for the city, which is what I was agreeing with, 100%. But in terms of the artist, that's why I made that face. Like, yeah, he didn't like put on artists as much
Presser?
as-
He didn't
What
put
are you
on
talking
artists.
about? He tried
to put on
brought
Prem.
Presser around the world. He brought Baca around the world. When the police were shutting down their shows, he did like
Roy Woods.
Party Next Door,
Smoke
Major
Party,
Jordan,
Smoke
Smoke Dog,
Magic
Ram
Jordan.
Riddles.
The Weeknd.
Ram.
Yeah, Ram.
How much more do you
Ran
want?
on
How much
that
more do people
stage.
want this nigga to do? That's what I wanna
featuring
know.
with Justin Bieber.
These niggas are in basements.
Whose fault is that?
That's
Drake's?
right.
That's what. That's what. I'm
Why
trying to get at.
Why is your? He
How?
gave you the platform.
That's what-
Do your thing. That nigga is
It's
not
not
responsible for your
And
life.
it's like
But this is
it's
what
not
I'm
like we have
saying.
American infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, okay,
California
that's
has
part
a
of
bunch
the
of
reason,
American,
for sure.
Like, all of California is the
But
same
there's
amount of
also a
people in
thing-
Canada. So,
but
like,
there's also a thing here in Toronto that the hustle culture isn't necessarily the same. There's a lot of people who think that they deserve
Talk
just a
about it.
hand up.
Come on,
and
man.
that's it. And they might get the reach out, but then what do they do about it? They don't
Accountability
do
in this
anything.
city, bro.
There is no accountability. Everybody has a sad story and wants to blame X, Y, and Z instead of just doing the fucking
They're
work.
all fucking entitled, man.
Okay,
They're
that's
all
it. Yeah,
entitled.
well
I
said.
see. I've been
Well
in
said,
this
Reese.
industry for over a decade.
Well, I'm not
I've
disagreeing with that at all. I just mean back to the Drake conversation in terms of like, if you're gonna be the person, hold on, if you're gonna be the person to put on the artist,
Yeah.
wouldn't that be on you as well? Because you're from the city, you know the barriers. Hold on, you know
Yeah,
the
yeah.
barriers we have as a city, right? It's
But he
much
gave
harder.
them the
Hold on,
platform.
let me finish, please. Let me land. It's much harder than it is for the U.S. to do this shit, right?
Yeah.
So it's like obviously he has to eat that. It's gonna be way harder for him to put him on successfully.
I
And
understand
feel like-
that, but I'll say this: it's way more than like I'm putting you on and pushing you, because there's to an extent as well. Like you have certain people who run a label
like
that
Jay-Z
are heavy.
and Rockefeller. You think Beanie, PD Crack, Young Gunners,
Memphis
all
Bleak.
Memphis Bleak, all those guys had Jay-Z, had Rockefeller.
And look where they are now.
Where are they?
And what did Jay-Z tell them? Do your work. Especially when 50 Cent was about to drop, he said, yo, y'all niggas need to get on your D.
point.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like you can only do so much for niggas, bro. Like, you
Kanye
can
was
really only do
literally
so
the
much.
only one.
And at the same token, do you want a label head that is constantly in your shit, especially when the narrative is he steals from all his artists?
Exactly,
Or do you want an artist that lets you, gives you the money, gives you the platform, lets you rock? That's my ideal situation. Where's my camera? Someone give me the money. Give me the platform. Let me rock. I got it from there.
I think it's an individual thing, right? It will definitely work for you, but I think I'm not even saying I have the solution at all. I'm just saying Drake is definitely faced with a tough choice of just like fuck, man, because. You brought great examples, Jay, Memphis, Bleak, and everything else, but just the talent that he has under OVO, which is really unfortunate when you see that they haven't gone to that level, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, Party, Majid, all them people.
You would want him to do more music with them.
I don't know what the solution is. I think it's just unfortunate. That's why I made that face. It's really just like that sucks.
It's
the guys, it's the people, because they think about Pressa. He had an opportunity to ride the fucking coattail of Coyle Ray. Coyle Ray? Like, you were dating Coyle Ray, who ended up having platinum after platinum song.
Facts.
You could have rolled that fucking coattail and do something, but you didn't. No shade to Pressa. I don't know what the fuck he's got going on in his personal life, but that just proves like there are artists who get those opportunities and then just don't go to that next level.
If you're not willing to make sacrifices,
Smiley is the perfect example. A guy like Smiley who would have never had any looks. No one would ever given Smiley
even just hearing him the first time. Yeah, even just hearing him the first time.
When I saw Smiley on the stage for OVO that first time, because I've been to pretty much all OVOs, and I seen him there, I'm like, why is he here? What is?
But Drake has a different era.
He doesn't have but that's
a fact. It's just a fact. It's just a fact.
He doesn't look good. He doesn't have stage presence.
Doesn't have the most pleasing voice.
His voice is weird.
Where's this talent though? That's his
he is not necessarily on beat. Like when you see this for the first time, you're like, why?
It became his talent because like it's not just Drake, but OVO in totality, they have a good air. Like Oliver has a great air.
Fantastic.
For new talent. And what I notice with them is they tend to go for someone that never sounded like anyone. Party. Never sounded like anyone. Smiley never sounded like anyone. You go down the list. Like nonstop is people that never sounded like anybody. And they're introducing new sounds and new palettes. Like it's just I think when it comes to the city,
so there's no excuse for them to be like, oh, we're copying a sound. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We had to put out the shit that was
and everybody
out of the
complains,
ordinary.
Toronto doesn't have a sound, so they were trying to create it.
Yeah.
And they did create it, and
bid.
people copied it. But
Big
it's
time,
not a Toronto. It's not a Toronto sound. We don't have that.
I'm not definitely not on that side of the argument.
Every producer that I've spoken to in the city says anywhere they go in the world, artists ask them, I need that Toronto sound.
Yeah.
That specific underwater, low, brooding, dark, cold, lonely music.
Yeah.
Like, that's us.
Because some people want to say, oh, because that was Kanye's 808 Heartbreaks, blah, blah.
I don't even attribute it to that because I feel like a lot of those beats, the song, the themes of the song were depressing and dark, but the songs themselves didn't sound necessarily depressing. The beats and shit like that, like he wasn't doing what 40's doing. He wasn't doing that.
And it's annoying that like they'll be like, oh yeah, Chicago drill, UK drill, New York drill, and then be like, oh, Toronto drill, they're copying. It's like, so why we can't have our own version of drill?
No, we can't.
Everybody else can, but we can't.
We're Canadian, man.
It's so stupid
They don't respect UK drill either.
Really?
They don't.
Right.
Even though UK has gone on record and being like, oh, we got this from Chicago. They've paid homage.
Yeah.
They don't anything outside of America, they will pretend they don't even understand.
Yeah.
They won't even take the time.
A lot of times they don't understand though. They're just dumb.
That's
also a fact.
That's actually fact.
Depending on where you are, a lot of places, especially in America, a lot of places are less cultured than others.
They don't.
They're not as
Alicia would know better
diverse.
than all of us too.
I know. I've lived in multiple states. Like, I've met a lot of people.
She
These
knows
people
everyone
are
in
dumb.
America.
It's
They're
to
dumb.
the point where people think they're doing it on purpose.
And a lot of times, to be honest, it's not. There's a good percentage that just don't know shit.
Yeah.
And it's not because they're like trying to be blind or not like learn stuff.
They just don't know what they don't know.
You know what's even crazier? People watch like shows that have like their British accent. That I can't understand.
But they'll
anything.
watch Narcos.
No, but the fact that they can't understand it just because a person has an English accent is fucking nuts to me.
The fact that they won't take the time
Yes.
to try. It's not because I can understand not understanding. There's times, depending on where you are in the UK, if you speak fucking Cockney, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna hear you.
That's understandable.
But there's certain dialects where they can take the time if they really wanted to. There's no way you can't tell me you don't know what Stormzy's saying, bro.
For sure.
There's no way you can tell me Skepta is the most palatable person, and they only gave Skepta one track to really bust over there.
Yeah.
There's people just still till this day trying to figure out what the hell Bone Thugs or Twist has been saying.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, why can't you try to figure out what the fuck
Twista.
Dave is saying, man? Like, what the hell? Dave sounds so perfect.
Yeah, man.
I also wanted to add that some of the issues with Toronto and not making it is sometimes the people that you surround yourself with, because they bring you down just as much.
Oh, yeah.
Like
The
some
crash
of these
out things.
artists that work with particular managers, maybe their friends, and their friends don't actually know what to do.
Yeah.
And it ends up just bringing them down. Or they just tell them that they're better than what they are, and that they think that they deserve more than what they deserve without working, and then that gets to their head, and they don't want to
For
work
me,
for it.
it's two major things. They die.
That part too.
That's one. And or go to jail. And then the other is this. I want to say The Weeknd started this formula of trying to be mysterious in an age where you got to be front facing as much as humanly possible. The Weeknd could do that because it was fucking 2011. No one cared. No one even called themselves a brand in 2011. This is like a new thing that people are. Anybody that does something, you could do nails. I'm a brand now.
Right.
So it's like. Back when Weeknd did that whole mysterious vibe, nobody knew what he looked like until he did the Mod Club or whatever. And obviously there were people who, if you're in certain circles, you know who Abel was. But for the most part, people in the city didn't know who he was. And that was a part of the allure, was, this mysterious nigga. But guess what? It's the music that helped that allure. You can't just be putting out some happy-go-lucky song and be mysterious.
No one cares.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
This nigga's singing about coke.
can't be
Coking up
mysterious
girls
if no
and
one cares
fucking
to know
girls
about
on
you.
Molly and shit. He's the mysterious works.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's a thief in the night. You can hear it. And so when you're trying to do this mysterious vibe and disappear on niggas, and it's just not gonna work, bro. Like, you're not The Weeknd.
The only mystery that'll leave is like, who are you? Like, I don't know who you are. You're a mystery in that sense. Like,
Sadboi is doing what you should be doing as a Toronto artist. Let me give Sadboi some fucking gunshots because she is everywhere.
I love Sadboi, man.
Everywhere, and it's working. She'll show up to a club, impromptu performance, cameras out. I'm seeing her on random people's stories that didn't know her the day before. So it's like, if you're not willing to put in the groundwork for real, I don't want to hear nobody talk. I've been watching Sadboi put in work for almost a decade now. And when I seen her, when I hosted a show, a talent show, I believe it was a festival. Can't remember what the name of the festival was. Utopia. Utopia Fest. You remember Utopia Fest? And I was supposed to host it with Yes Jules. That's when it ended, basically.
Oh shit.
Utopia Fest, she performed. This is so long ago. And I remember watching her and be like, yo, this girl's got it.
Did she still go by Sadboi?
No. I can't remember what her name was. Her name was not Sadboi, and her style was not what it is. She transformed herself into something completely different. And now is killing shit.
Yeah.
And then she's
so
not only
sick.
killing shit by like being everywhere, she pays attention to her metrics. She sees, okay, this song accidentally went off in Brazil. I didn't realize I was doing like a Bally Funk type beat.
Yeah.
So what she do? She went back in the studio, re-recorded bare shit, and put out bare Bally Funk type beats. That Aki and Sawfish song is gonna go crazy.
That ballet funk though, like she freaked it in a way
fire
that was
bag.
like, wait, because I was wondering, I'm like, did she?
We
take
talked
ba-
about Brazil and Jamaica before,
right.
and how Brazil and Jamaica are
It's very parallel.
very much the same. Like, even down to the colors. Like, we're very much the same. Jamaicans, when we watch the World Cup, if we're not in it, we're repping Brazil. And if you listen to Brazilian music, they're the only ones on the planet that have music as raunchy as ours. Like they talk direct, they don't skip over nothing. Heavily sexual, all that stuff. So for her to go on a Belly Funk beat and speak patois, I was like, oh, she got it. She got it, bro. Because it just goes hand in hand. It's too nice. It sounds too good.
A little Belly Funk, a little bit of Toronto, a little bit of UK sound, like all in one. It's just like it's a sick marriage, man.
She's doing great, man.
She has a song with Callie now.
Ebony, that was her name. Ebony. EHBONI, I believe. EBHONI, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Shit.
So she
I thought she was a new artist.
She reimagined herself, man. The whole brand got a complete 180.
That's fire. It's working.
And now look, it's working like gangbusters.
She put it on for the Slim Thicks.
For sure. I seen Four Corners make a mix.
Let's go.
I seen Four Corners make a mix, man.
Yo, and honestly, what I love, like every show I do, I make sure to tell them, like, yeah, they not like us. Fuck you guys, we're not like them. Like I've been doing that. That's been my thing.
I seen you make them sing it at one show.
Yeah.
We not like them.
We're not like them. We can't be.
I like that flip.
You know?
And I like this flip that Four Corners did.
He killed this flip, bro.
I should put it on the Apple TV, man. This shit was. Did you see it?
I did.
I was like, wow, bro, that's a really good idea right there. Hold up.
Chilling and grilling, baby.
Oh, this is chilling and grilling.
It's fire.
Shit. Niggas still playing my old shit.
We don't even know shit.
That shit go hard, nigga. Nigga, I'm just flexing. Do it, look, let me. Yeah, man. Fire. And I love that as a response. Like, I love that a DJ did that.
Yeah.
Specifically because there's a whole thing. I remember Cypher Sounds was talking about how he got threatened because he was here in Toronto when it dropped. And people were saying that he played it at a club. And he's like, I never played it at no club. And then he made a video today. Corny as fuck. He's like, yo, can I come back to Toronto? Is it safe for me to come back? Because they said I played Not Like Us. And then someone said I was going to get smacked in the mouth. But look at this. And then he shows the video, the doctored video of Drake performing Not Like Us. You see that video?
No, I haven't seen
They
that.
dubbed the audio of Not Like Us performance over one of Drake's old concert footage.
Bro, this is nasty.
And his nigga, grown man,
yeah, him
posting
and Peter,
it like
bro,
he actually believed. I can't believe he believed it. It's crazy.
He believed it?
I don't know if he did or not.
That's embarrassing.
But if it was a joke, it's a horrible joke.
Yeah, him and Peter sometimes. It's just, you know?
Peter cringe as hell.
Dog, both of them sometimes.
Peter cringe as hell. See how you try to get Charlemagne out of here?
No.
The Tyla interview?
Yeah.
Then I made a video. So, Charlemagne the God got a list of questions that he wasn't supposed to ask. And he deliberately went against their wishes.
Yeah, I mean,
Now, some people call this journalism, blah, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up, nigga. Shut the fuck up, nigga. And I love that Charlemagne ethered his ass. Oh my God, go watch Brilliant Idiots. Ethered that nigga,
That's who
bro.
he's responding to?
Yeah, he's like, suck a dick. Suck a dick.
Love that.
Because, like, yo, the man's like, first of all, and this is a well-known thing with Charlemagne, period. So
That's
I don't
what I'm
know why
saying. From
he
day
even
one,
brought that up. Charlemagne does not listen to your PR requests. He's gonna do what he wants to do. And if you're not down for it,
of his career,
He don't need to.
and he even learned from one of the best, which is Wendy Williams,
Facts.
because you
Yeah,
think Wendy Williams was listening
She
to
ain't listening to
what
none
she
of that.
asked, what questions
That
she
people
wants
wanted to hear.
to
that she knows
ask.
people want to hear.
And
Yeah.
so
And the list of the questions were, you can't mention her injury. You can't mention why she left Chris Brown's tour. You can't mention
Dating.
Kai Cenat with the dating thing.
Which is weird.
And he's like, 5
color.
out of the 6 of this shit, I didn't even know. Thank you.
Exactly.
He's like, y'all gave me more material than I had. I was just going to ask about the colored shit.
Yeah.
And y'all gave me all this other material. Thank you. And he's like, I put it on them to be like, you can either come or not come, but I'm going to ask the questions.
Exactly.
And
he's 100%
it's
right in doing
either
that. Yeah.
you come and you prepare your artist,
Yeah.
or you don't. And they didn't prepare her, even though he told them no.
Yeah.
And so in that moment, she looked crazy.
Yeah, no, she's just looking back like, help me, to her PR person.
And she did what she's supposed to do.
She could have just answered.
She could have, but I feel like
those questions aren't that crazy.
I know, but she's like the first time there, she's nervous.
It doesn't matter. No.
I think we're looking at it now with like eyes of like, of course, what you would do maybe, but I'm saying maybe in her eyes, she's like nervous and overwhelmed.
For me, it's like
I think it's unprofessional from her team. Like if especially if Charlemagne told them, yo, I'm gonna ask these questions. If they didn't tell her this, you can see how she kind of feels like, oh my god, I'm being bum rushed.
I'm deferring. If I'm her, I'm deferring the same way. I'm not saying a word because anything can be used against me. She came out and made her statement afterwards and made sure it was no video, no picture, just a note. Here's what it is, guys. Colored is in South Africa. I'm black everywhere else. Are we done? Saying that on the platform is going to enter a whole different realm of vitriol that people are just going to... I don't know why people take video so much more seriously than written words.
Well, because there's visual proof.
Receipts.
What happened with the other questions? Did he end up asking them?
I didn't watch the full interview. I just saw that clip.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure if he asked the other questions. He did ask about Kai Cenat. He did ask about the We Friends though thing, and she didn't answer that one either. So,
it's not that serious.
Yeah, it's not that serious, man.
I mean, I'm not going to blame her because she's a young, up-and-coming artist. She has a dream, and she doesn't want to stifle that dream, and people are getting canceled left, right, and center for things that they didn't even do wrong.
How's she going to get canceled for We're Friends, though?
I don't know. But it's not even canceled. I think it's more so rehashing.
Just continue to...
avoid it until they stop asking you.
You're just going to continue to worry about people canceling you?
Yes. Every artist worries about people canceling them.
Yeah. Okay.
That is what it is. That's the new world we're in, man. You got to worry about that shit.
There's also something about the artist that doesn't care to be canceled.
Answer these questions, and she's not going to do it. She needs to figure out a way to change the subject. There's plenty of people who have the ability to make a joke out of something.
Yeah, she needs media training for sure.
Figure out like something that will be like, oh, okay, cool. Instead of feeling like, oh, help me.
I think you need a more seasoned artist to do that, though. She's very fresh in the game. She's very young. And she doesn't know necessarily how this stuff works. This is her first time around, right? So it's like, I give her that grace because she's so young. I remember seeing Migos when they first came out, 21 Savage, Drake. Uzi, Kodak. None of those niggas could even speak. They had one-word answers for everything. So it's like, now you see them and they flourish in those situations. They know how to change the subject or make a joke or make light of the situation. But early on, you got to kind of give her grace. She's going to become a diva eventually. So trust me, you're going to see her speak her mind eventually. But for right now, I think she's playing it as safe as humanly possible.
She was not nearly as bad as Presso when he was on The Breakfast.
You know what I mean?
I forgot he was even on there.
Yo, it was so bad, bro. It's so embarrassing.
It wasn't embarrassing because I'm used to the Toronto talk. Everyone has their nervous tics. You know what I mean? Their nervous filler words that they put out.
He was obviously trying to be too cool, but it didn't come off too cool, man.
I feel like he was trying to stay Toronto through it. Yeah.
It is who he is.
That's just who he is.
But earlier on, I was just like, man, I wish you just...
You feel me? That's what it was. It was you feel me.
Yeah, you could have said you feel me way less.
You feel me? You feel me?
That's the same as people saying like or
Yeah. This is filler. It's nervous filler word.
It was a real crutch, but it was too much.
But at the end of the day, it is on the team to do the media training and figure out, like, even with the Migos, they should have had media training.
Yeah.
Anytime somebody comes to any of the interviews that I've ever done, if they don't know how to respond, that's partly, like, obviously some on them, but it's mainly onto their label.
Absolutely.
Because why are you putting them into that situation if they're not prepared for it?
You should be definitely doing, like, mock interviews.
You're not going to have them come back. I remember with the Poosh Icy one, I'm like...
Oh, yeah, same.
After the Poosh... No, I got him to do an interview with Poosh Icy. Oh. Like, his team wanted him to do interviews here, right? He did it with whatever that thing
Before
was that
they're
you're
famous.
working.
Yeah.
And he was just, through the interviews, he just kept smoking, and he's not very articulate, and he just wasn't getting anything done.
He wasn't engaged.
And it was via Zoom as well.
Oh my God.
And so
I'm
talking to him, and the man's rolling up a blunt.
And it's delayed too.
Y'all fucked with me though.
Yeah.
Y'all played with me.
And
he started pressing me over thumbnails. I'm like, what the fuck?
After that day, they said he is on pause for doing media. because they were like, we're going to get some training for him. But then he ended up in jail.
Peace.
But they need to take that step ahead of time for more artists. They do it sometimes. I have had artists where they're like, no, we're just going to stay away from, like Kenya Grace. I don't know if you remember the song Strangers last, like the end of summer, I guess. It blew up. Like, blew up. One of the largest,
Really?
like EDM-ish. Yeah. Yeah, she's from the UK. And
Kenya Grace.
yeah, she's like those bedroom EDM type things.
Can you sing the song?
No. Okay, go ahead, James.
They can't hear you on the mic, brother. We got.
yeah.
I've never heard this song in my life.
Yeah.
He sounds very Caucasian.
It sounds like, yeah.
You had to have heard it because it was on the everybody was using it on social media.
Huge on TikTok.
This song went crazy.
Super viral.
I've never heard this song in my life.
Wait. Oh.
Heard this 1,000 times.
If I heard the first 2 seconds of this, I would switch it. So
But it was on TikTok.
I never heard it.
Everybody like used it.
Specific spot for the chorus.
I see the list right now. They're like,
So stupid. Oh, you're not getting applause. James' rendition is kind of different still.
The first whatever 2 bars. Anyways,
James was
that
adding too
song-
much cowbell.
Anyways, that song, she was like, she was creating it. She didn't create the whole song. She just created a bar or whatever, and she posted it on TikTok.
Yeah.
And it went crazy on TikTok. And for months, people were begging her to do the whole song. She eventually did the whole song, dropped it. The shit went #1,
Jeez.
like everywhere. She was like the first female in decades in the UK to end up being
Shit.
#1 and tied with like another legacy like artist from the UK. And it just went crazy. And when she came to Toronto, they wanted a bunch of things for her. They wanted like looks. They wanted it to be a big thing. But then when it came down to it, they're like, no, she's not really ready for this, because they knew she was a bedroom artist. She spends most of her time in her bedroom creating music.
Yeah.
And they figured, like, as much as they want the looks, if they got the looks, it probably wouldn't have been that great because she's so shy and she's so introverted. And like I think that's a better play.
Facts.
Because if you go into an interview and she's horrible, the next time she comes back to Toronto, nobody's gonna want to do it. You know what I mean?
First impressions are everything, man. Yeah, definitely.
So you might as well just take the time.
that's why, I had a lot of gigs like offered to me, and I was like, I can't take this. I know it's not right. It's not my time to take it. I don't want to fuck it up early.
But sometimes, but in the same breath, in regards to gigs, sometimes you just gotta do it.
Yeah,
Because sometimes your mind is just gonna like, overplay, and you're gonna be like, oh, I can't do it. It's imposter syndrome. And I just think that that's a little bit different than labels purposely setting up media circuits and the artist isn't ready.
Yeah. I remember I turned down, the only thing I ever turned down that I was like, I'm not ready for this, was like first or second year of YouTube. Someone wanted to fly me out to Dubai to do a stand-up set for $45,000. And I had to turn it down. They want me to do an hour of comedy.
Shit on you, bro.
You're dumb. They want me to do an hour of comedy, but I had never done stand-up at that point. So I was like, I mean, I can go over there and fuck around, but
for 45 racks,
I don't think
you were like Majah, $450.
Yeah, so I'm like, yo, 45 racks, man. My life will change.
I'm going up there doing
I was so broke at the time too. I'm like, God damn, they're gonna fly me out, put me in a hotel, everything.
I'm memorizing all of Dave Chappelle's catalog.
Dog. Facts. I should have done that. I should have done that now. I'm pissed now.
45 bands, I'm done.
Bro, man,
Facts.
you know how many people you could just ask to write you shit or tell let me buy your jokes right quick?
I fucked up.
I'll pay you a G for this joke.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
Yo, 250, bro.
You
Damn.
probably
You know what
could
I'm
have
saying?
gotten by with it.
I fucked up.
Because even though it's $45,000 and it would take you a lot to get that here or the United States, like that's nothing to them.
Oh, yeah.
$45,000 is chump change.
But it
for
wasn't
them.
even about that. It's just there's so many like this is not the same time as now, right? Like Dubai, there's so many rumors of what happens over there.
You know what was gonna happen?
Plus,
Okay,
before
that's
2020,
understandable, though.
Dubai's like the Sharia law over there was very strict.
You're not funny.
So
Yeah,
like it's I don't know. I'm like, if I can lose my hands, what happens? I don't know. And at that point, I never like done a show, and it was out of my wheelhouse. And I never done a show and disappointed people, much less the pressure of flying somewhere where I know there's no Jamaicans.
Blame it on jet lag.
I'm gonna be doing Jamaican jokes, and I don't know what's gonna happen. So I was just like, I
First I
can't.
knew there was a lot of Jamaicans.
There was a lot of Jamaicans. I don't know if there would have been in
at that time,
2013, but now definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, my buddy did a gig in Dubai, and they're like, all right, it was a private gig. They're like, we're gonna have to blindfold you and take you to this area. It's a secret area. So they brought him there, and they're like, all right, so you could perform whatever you want to perform, but the main like course or the main attraction, right, was
Don't say it.
fucking Texas pork barbecue. So that was half the reason they had to do everything in hiding. It wasn't just him performing comedy. They wanted to serve
Because it was fucking
pork
haram.
barbecue. So
was
they had to
haram.
like everybody had to be blindfolded when taken to the spot so that no one could ever like locate it. So that's how
Christ.
crazy fucking
Yeah, we can't let niggas know we eating pork out here, my nigga.
man.
I
It's
hope
too
you
haram,
understand.
man. Shit, haram diaries.
It's a heavy pork operation over here.
Heavy pork.
Speaking of pork, Johnathon Majors
Excuse
accepted an award at the Hollywood Unlocked Awards.
That's nasty.
Unlocked, eh?
Filthy work. Filthy work.
You have the right haircut for it.
Yo, somebody cut that nigga's hair with toenail clippers, bro. That shit look crazy. His hair looked like it was cut by faith,
Bro,
not
that-
by sight.
That part was disgusting. That fade was nuts, fam. Why does he
Dog.
hate himself, bro? I don't understand.
Got that Civil War face,
You
man.
know what? He got his hair cut by white people.
I don't know. He definitely went to a
super.
Supercuts.
Yeah.
He
First choice. Oh fuck.
Ayanla handing out the award is first of all the nastiest thing
Crazy.
I've ever seen in my life. Remember Ayanla Fixed My Life?
Yeah.
Remember that
on
show?
my watch.
Ayanla, Oprah put her on.
No.
Yes, nigga. Yes. She gave him the award. Dog. Man, first of all, he's already crying in his seat. Stands up.
He's crying.
Stands up, crying.
No.
Okay, sits back down, Megan Good stroking his head, all that stuff. He's there, gets on stage, weeps again. Ayala takes him into her bosom
Yeah.
as the elderly stated black woman.
Is that the girl that eats chips while she's?
No, I don't know who you're thinking of. What? What? I don't even know who you're thinking about.
What's her name again?
Ayanla. Iyanla, I believe.
Just type in "fix my life." Yeah.
Fix My Life.
Yeah, I know.
Oprah put her on. Yeah. She hugs him. He's weeping in her bosom. Just weeping, right? You see him like,
her
you know those
bosom.
cries where your back is spasming?
Wild.
Dog, she takes her hands and you watch her wipe away his sins.
Yeah.
She just starts wiping him. And
kinda
I'm
fire.
like,
That's kinda fire.
oh, this
I
is
would cry.
filthy work.
That's fire.
And then when you take in who the awards by,
Who's the
Hollywood Unlocked.
Hollywood Unlocked is
yeah.
it's like TMZ or Shade Room or
It wishes.
Media Takeout giving you an award, bro.
It's not that.
Like,
Oh, man.
imagine Lipstick Alley giving an award show.
It actually like is one of the top.
I know,
Huge.
but just isn't Jason Lee?
M4 was on there.
I know. Jason Lee's the leader of that. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He used to be a real estate seller to the
so
stars.
The National Enquirer Award goes to
Facts. You know what I mean? Like,
Us Weekly.
so it's so crazy that happened. Just watching it was just like, this
Yeah.
is nasty work, man. What else? Before we get out of here, Sexxy Red. Y'all see that commercial? That vodka
No.
commercial?
No.
Is it a partnership?
She's in like Oval Office.
Oh man.
It's a vodka commercial.
It's a vodka commercial. I don't know who
Sexy for president?
Remember this.
AU Vodka, I believe is the name of the thing.
Oh, they definitely spent some money.
Yeah. Let's see if I can find the Sexy Red AU. Yeah, the results are crazy.
Yeah, on Twitter too,
Vodka. I'll see if the commercial's on here. She does the commercial, and the commercial is like her in like Oval Office. And oh wow, well, so much for that. I'll try YouTube, I guess. She is getting head in the Oval Office.
Monica Lewinsky?
I saw a skit of this, or
AU Vodka
on Twitter.
I think I have it.
This is it.
Wow. Nice drone shot.
Word. What's up?
What's up? The watermelon tops is fucking racist. I don't care what anybody says.
This is like the Drake
red?
Forever commercial, but like
The vodka's red though.
This is probably pre-mixed. I think it's
the American
watermelon
flag
flavored.
sticker covering
try
her
it.
nipple.
See?
I don't like that at all.
Like at what point is it not woman empowerment anymore? Is what I want to know. he's like, I am not answering this one.
I'm not qualified to answer that question.
Because it's like, yo, at a certain point, they're taking the piss, man. It's not like who. Do we believe that labels are really championing these women to be themselves, or more indulgent into these types of things, where it's like, it's the worst. It's the worst parts of us. If that makes sense.
I don't want to be the old guy
That's what I
conspiracy
feel like.
theorist. You know, that's just like we all know the record labels are doing this to
This is what I
dumb
feel
down
like,
the
bro.
culture and make sure that people don't think beyond a girl like Sexxy Red, like, and make that normalized. I don't want to be that guy that screams that narrative, but it just. You see it right in front of you, man.
If there was,
It's so blatant.
and this is the thing, right? Because niggas been doing this. We're not gonna act like women doing it is the end all be all. Niggas been promoting gang culture, violence, drugs, treating women like hoes in
misogyny, all
videos,
that.
picking up the video girls. It's all been there. But I think we've already come to the understanding that it is a setup. So why aren't we acknowledging that with the women? Why is it female empowerment when it comes to the women? When it comes to the niggas, it's a detriment to society.
Because it's new.
Because it's actually killing niggas?
You don't think this is killing women?
What? Exactly. Her being sexualized?
Yes. That's
By
killing
men?
women. That's killing a lot of women.
By men?
Yes.
But it's not like, I think it's, I don't know.
See, it's tough. It's tough because at the same time, obviously, women should have their autonomy and be able to do whatever it is that they want and live however they want. But we know that society is just not like that. We got to be realistic at some point. At some point, we can't just act like we're in a world where the world is what we want it to be. No, the world is what it is. It is what it is. There are disgusting men all over the world. We know that. We got to stop pretending like this doesn't exist, and that powering through with messages like this is helping. And when I don't think it's helping.
And when you got a guy like Kendrick calling out Drake for the women he endorses, you know what I mean? It's like,
and the world agrees, bro.
Yeah, and the world
be
like,
yo, yeah, the women you are with aren't real women. But then every single major rap artist that's a female is that woman. So there's a cognitive dissonance that's happening that people are not taking in. It's like, at the one hand, you see people on Twitter being mad conservative, especially black people, being mad conservative.
But there's actually a history of black folks being mad conservative.
It roots back to our religious shit and all that stuff.
Respectability.
But then at the
politics,
same
all that
time,
stuff.
when it comes to certain things, you can be liberal on that. You can be liberal on that. And it's the worst parts of us.
And
That's what I don't understand.
And why don't they push another Lauryn Hill?
Dog, I have it written down. Where's Lauryn Hill? Where's the Lauryn Hill in this situation? Because you can talk about the Rhapsodies.
Rhapsody dropped an album 2 weeks ago.
Nobody heard of it.
Nobody's listening. I'm listening.
They want to give it to Doja. They want to give it to Nicki. They want to give it to Sweet.
And what do they all have in common, man?
At the end of the day, sex sells.
Sexuality, man.
At a certain point, also, the consumers had to be held accountable. Mm-hmm. It's not just on these artists. Because someone's buying it, someone's indulging, someone's getting these people paid.
Is it by design, though?
Never. Yeah. And this is the thing, when we talk about, for example, I seen the discussion where we talk about the whole Toronto artists and stuff. People are like, oh, that's why pages like Six Buzz and Keep Six are to blame because those pages never united the city. If anything, they divided them. Like, y'all niggas followed it. Mm-hmm. Y'all niggas indulged. Y'all niggas commented. Y'all niggas liked and shared. And now you're mad?
Unfollow, block, then do the work.
Been unfollowed. Yeah. So it's like, this is my thing. You can't scream that these people and these things are killing society if you're also feeding into it. Yeah. And some of the times, it's not even feeding into it in a positive light. Some people are popular because they're hated. Look at Candace Owens. Popular because she's hated. Tommy Laird, you can go down the list of niggas who are just popular because they're hated.
Yeah. That's true.
It's crazy, man. I feel like an old man when I say these things. But
I understand, as you know, I understand that perspective, right? But you also have to look at it from the other perspective too, right? Women weren't allowed to do this for a long time, right? And I think what I've been saying for a long time too is like they've gone to the other side, but to the extreme. And it's the point that you brought up as well that I keep bringing up. You want the world to be this way. Unfortunately, it's not. So the logic that you're coming to the situation with is that in an idealistic world, you're right. However, this is reality.
But is there... Okay, I'll get some pushback there.
Yeah, I see that.
Is the only way to move forward and evolve to constantly press the issue? No. Because if you're looking at it in other plights, for example, black people, and just pushing black talent, black business entrepreneurs, all that stuff... Eventually, some people's minds changed. Like, we're not going to act like today is the same as 1964. Yeah. People's minds have changed, right? Facts, yeah. And that was because of constant pushing against the door. Obviously, still tons of work to do.
For sure, yeah. New problems.
But is that the only way we push past the narrative? Is the only way to get men to stop constantly sexualizing women to desensitize men from women's bodies by showing it so much? Because I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, dog, I've been seeing titties for a long time. Yeah. Never bored.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's one of those things that we'll ever be like...
But you're not the monster.
Progressive on.
You're not the monster. That, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you have these things that you're able to control yourself or whatever the fuck it is. Like, you're not those people that we're kind of trying to fix. You know?
You know what ends up happening is, like, as much as we want a Lauryn Hill, there's more people, and like, I'm gonna use Brian Scalabrine as a perfect example when he said, "I am closer to LeBron than you guys are closer to me." Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's more people that are closer to Sexxy Red than there are closer to Lauryn Hill. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
touche.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's facts. Are they feeding a population that wants to be seen because they're more relatable to a Sexxy Red?
Yeah.
Or is Lauryn Hill this person that is just like on such a high echelon that no one could ever reach that level?
Yeah.
It's not attainable, you know? So like most people just, I guess we're gonna go what we're closest to. Yeah. And now they're left to a Sexxy Red.
Because I feel like the men have nuance in terms of the artists that we can listen to. There are the men that do the conscious stuff. There's the niggas that do the gangster shit, right? Like, we have it across the spectrum. To your point, this is new ground for the women, especially in terms of the amount of women that are now mainstream. Exactly. Yeah. So maybe we do have to give it a couple years for it to work out of this funk. My thing is always looking at the roots. And for me, the root of hip hop never started here. So that's why it's kind of troubling for me that we're starting here and not starting from a place where we can build to get to here. We're already here. Like you said, we're just extreme. Yeah. We're there.
Little Kim, Foxy Brown, they've been like that.
Yeah. But I mean, in terms of the amount of women.
People in hip hop, women in hip hop. So
No, but I mean the amount of women that
Been
are
an
mainstream
example.
at this time. I'm not talking about just like those are like outliers. There was when Kim
Yeah,
and Foxy
Queen-
first came out.
It was Queen Latifah,
It's Queen Latifah,
lot of
MC
women trying to
Light.
beat all
Salt
that,
and
yeah.
Pepper. They weren't as like promiscuous like
Yeah,
that.
and they weren't mainstream.
range.
We can't act like they were mainstream. They were black famous, majority of them. We feel like they were famous around the world, but they were not. They were black famous for the most part, especially black women.
Salt and Pepper was more like mainstream
Yeah.
than Foxy and Kim. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly. And so now we're seeing them reach the masses. Like Cardi B kicked that door
Pop culture
open.
now.
Nicki
They are
Minaj
pop
kicked
culture,
that door open, and you're seeing that they're pop artists now. They're not even just rappers anymore. They're pop artists.
I
And
would say Lil Kim reached that point
Yep.
later on in her career, but
Even Eve didn't reach that point.
yeah, I mean she did to an extent with Gwen Stefani, but then after that it was like
She was done right after that.
she was done right after.
She was out.
She didn't follow up.
She didn't follow up after the Gwen Stefani thing. And to her credit, she might have been way huger if she did follow up with some more shit right afterwards. But she chose not to.
She's
And
like,
she got a billionaire now.
Yeah, she's like, I made a billionaire. What do I need?
Why am
to
I doing
prove?
this?
Yeah.
I'm driving gumball races around the world.
I can't remember. I can't think of it.
Yeah, man. It's interesting. I hope I don't sound like an old man here or being a hater. I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm just saying
Welcome
that
to the club, man.
I'm just saying I'm noticing a trend and it's like they're tricking us. I feel like that's the part that is that annoys me the most. The labels.
Okay.
It's like they're propping up and pretending that this is in support, when really, to me, knowing the people behind the scenes, usually to them this is a mockery.
Who do you think the biggest victim in this situation is?
Us, the consumers.
Okay.
The consumers. I don't even think the artist, because I don't think the artist is even. I don't think Sexxy Red thinks she's doing anything wrong. I genuinely don't.
Yeah.
I think she's doing what she thinks she needs to do as an artist, which is perfectly fine.
And there's enough people in
But
her echo
I-
chamber telling it's okay.
but
Yeah.
she's also probably being authentic to who she is.
Right.
That's what I said.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For sure.
So
That's what I said. She doesn't. I don't
I'm
think
just
she
confused.
thinks she's doing anything wrong. But the labels know exactly what and who they're pushing and why. And it's never you can't point me to a label that's ever done things to the benefit of black people.
Right.
Yeah.
They've taken advantage of too many. Like
As
for
long
every
as you
artist you
continue
see,
to push this narrative and push this influence,
exactly.
we're okay with it. We'll put all the money into this.
Prime
we don't want to
example.
put money into this Lauryn Hill stuff.
Prime example is pornography. If you want to look anywhere where the trend is set, it's pornography.
pornography.
Look at how black porn stars, or not even, they're not even porn stars. Black people aren't porn stars in the porn world.
Black talent.
They're just black talent. And if you see the labels on the titles of those videos, even just the labels, they're not even gonna get into wardrobe and situations. Because these niggas are always in Timbs and backwards hats. Like,
Jeans with no underwear. That's crazy.
blacked, all that shit, like it's crazy, bro.
Latina, Asian, ebony.
Dog, it's
the
like
hell?
there's a stripping of humanity that's happening. Allegedly, Sexxy Red's team is all white men. No, that's not true. Her manager is a black woman. And number of her and her producer is Tay Keith. A number of her team is black. The label is white. Yeah, the label's always white.
Team is all white.
No, they're not. That's not true. It's not true at all.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
He's in no group chats, bro. He knows.
No, I seen that rumor and someone debunked it
He was
already.
following the honey trail.
But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in another week, man. You guys got anything going on this weekend?
My birthday. There's gonna be a whole.
Happy early birthday.
Norm is turning the good old Dirk Nowitzki. Just gonna be doing a bunch of shows this weekend. Come find me. Go look me up. Come see me singing my ass off somewhere.
Come see me. Come find me.
It's gonna be fun. Listen. I want to have a little barbecue, an impromptu barbecue. So
Sick. We went to the
call you
beach
guys.
we went to the island
we went
last
to the
year.
island last
That
year.
was fun.
I'm not gonna do that this time. That's
Yeah, that
way
was
too
so
hard.
much walking. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was so mad.
My knees
I'm like,
almost
why you
fell
guys
off, bro.
making us walk this far, man?
Dog, I'm like,
There
there's
was
beach
so many
everywhere.
spots right so close. Like,
We walked to
nah.
the opposite end of the island, bro.
Jesus Christ.
It was like 45 minutes. I'm like, this place is
And by the
huge.
time we got there, everyone was like,
yes!
Nah.
And back
That's love.
to the ferry.
That's
and then
love.
everyone's like, you know what? We're gonna get out of here now. I'm like, we
Bro,
fucking
we
walked
were there
here.
for like an hour.
Dog.
Nah.
Oh, cheese.
For what?
It was hilarious. Anyways, Friday, Norm's birthday. Friday, slow jam party, pop up, sold out event, lucky day, album release. Gonna
Yo,
be
can I get
fire.
a birthday ticket?
No.
Please.
Saturday.
I still have never went.
No, that's not. I'll get you to like a actual, real big slow
better
jam
one?
party.
Okay,
This is a
yeah,
pop
Go
up.
to the actual.
Okay.
Saturday, FCFS, first come, first serve. Shout out my nigga BP. Bop, bop. All you can drink party. And then Sunday, Palm Trees
What?
Day Party.
When is that?
New location. Look it up. Find it. Come find me.
Where is that?
We're hosting. It's going to be fire.
Palm tree?
Yeah, no, I'm going.
Palm Trees, secret location, man.
All right.
Yeah,
I'll give you the address. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm Marlon.
I'm Norm.
I'm Alicia.
I'm Duke.
And that was the extra gravy. Bam, 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 bam. Masakya,